Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Call of Duty Challengers Elite. Now it is time for the North American region. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Bryce. Joining me this time, my colleagues Ellen and Ton. Ellen, how are you?
Bryce, I am fantastic. I just was crazy. It was just crazy the matches earlier today. So I'm just excited to see the matches going in this evening. If it's anything like earlier, I think we're in for a real treat.
Me too, and I wasn't going to say hello to Ton there because I thought the game was about to get underway, but since we've got a restart, I might as well say hello. Ton, how are you this evening?
I was just going to tell you guys to enjoy your cast, you know what I mean? I was here to show my face, but yeah, no, I can actually say how I'm feeling, Bryce. I'm feeling fine and dandy, thank you very much. Excited to get in the NA side of things. It should be interesting considering how close it was here, the same as in Europe. So realistically, we're not 100% clued up on who's going to go through. So it's always fun when that's the case.
It certainly is. Well, we suppose we better talk about our very first game then. Nemo versus the System. We are in the knockout bracket stage, and the winners of this game will go forward into our playoffs. The losers go down to our lower bracket where they get another chance for elimination. So much to talk about, but of course we've got time in between maps to fill you all in and everything that is happening. What's more important is gameplay. Starting off on Garrison Hardpoint, of course, it will be me and Ellen casting this one. So, Ton, thank you for your small input, but we will see you after this one is done. Let's see if this one starts. And Ellen, as we go through, I suppose I better ask you, who have you got as favorites in this?
You know, I would say I don't really have a favorite. Between both teams, I mean, I will say that if I did have to favor a team, I would choose the System, just because they started off so strong. They were 4-0 when the week that essentially first week, but they did kind of slow down a little bit. They ended so far 5-2. But it's just they started off hot and now they're slowing it down. So I don't know. Nemo, they are kind of surprised us too because essentially they beat NYSL Academy teams to get here. So between both of these teams, Bracey, I have no idea because you got one team that slowed down and one team that just surprised everybody.
They certainly have. Well, last time around, these two players, it was 3-2 in favor of Nemo. Of course, the System will be wanting revenge here to get through into those playoffs. We jump on board with Archives first, trying to get a few shots down into Brig. Good hole for them so far. And it looks like they are in full control here of P2.
Yep. But the System here, essentially the way to push is going through the back. And now as Dusty tries to push it, he gets a huge kill on Perform, which is very essential. But the kills don't come in through the back, but they do come in through the front. And now it looks like the battles of contest come in. But Nemo overall still in remain control, but they still have that third point and that rotation to worry about.
Zed's going to be left all alone here as we go for this rotation. Of course, very important to try and get those back spawns here. Zigzag's going to find out, guys. Does manage to get him taken down, and they're spawning good for this one. Zed getting another kill as he flies out of top green, and it will be the System in the position here to get back this lead, but they do have to hold. Here come Nemo. You can already see. First kill down. Can they get the stack coming through? A double trail going to come forward. Fellas has to pre-fire. He knows he's in an awful lot of trouble. Still coming through tools as well. And all the pressure now falling onto the System, and they are buckling under Nemo's assault.
Now Zinx left alive here. This could be scary for the Nemo as I was going to say the System, but no, there we go. They do take out Zinx in the back, but the Flood does come in through the front again. But overall, it's still Nemo in control. Perform playing out of his mind right now. He's 10-5 on a 5 streak right now, and he's still going off, but finally gets taken down by Desi. And again, it just seems right now, Bracey, it just overall seems like Nemo is in control of the spawns. They're locking it down, and the System is constantly fighting through the front. So now, as we move on to this next rotation over to and the tank hill, the System is in control, but now it's just how is Nemo going to break this, or can they break it here, Bryce?
Well, let's see, because realistically, the System would love to hold this. Get enough points here, but fellow will shut down that vent push to begin with, and now you can see them all spawning in. Can they hold off Perform here? Trying to get close with his teammates. Has a little bit of backup here as well, but Zed knows exactly what's going to happen. Eventually goes down to Rambi, but all the kill feed is going to go the way of the System here to begin with. It's a reset for Nemo. They now have to try and make another push for this.
Yep, so far so good. And Desi, great kill on to Perform there. He's playing aggressive, which is very key here. And Fellow streaking on the other side on the 5 streak. Both the Systems, it seems like they're just coming alive right now. Desi's still continuing to be aggressive. Zinx continuing to get 2 pieces. And again, now they have to start worrying about that rotation to new. And if you take a look at number 5 on your minimap, Rambi is on that rotation. So they're going to have him to worry about as they slowly start to move over. And Fellow, couple shots into there, he controls that bridge side. And you know, when it comes to Garrison, bridge and green are very, very essential on this map. But now the floods are going to start to come through. And again, now the system seem to have control over this point. And Fellow is just out of his mind right now, and currently on a 7th streak.
That's going to be a big play for them, and probably the reason they get back into this. Fellow going to try and stay alive, see if he can get that cruise missile. See him perform, tries a few shots down, but he is in a bad position now. He's going to eventually go down. Those shots cost him his life and potentially that streak going through, but it will now be Nemo to try and take control of this game with 26 seconds left on that hill. And right now they're thinking we've got them positioned in the spawn we want. We can probably get not only these points, but maybe a few more points off P1.
That's right. And the problem for the system here is they're just getting stuck in that trap. And Zed just absolutely out of his mind going off, controlling that. But now they did manage to break out. A very nice opening there from Zed. And again, now as we move over to the rotation to the essentially P1, this is just again going to be a bloodbath. But it's always such a scrappy hill, Pricey. It's always such a scrappy hill. But Nemo doing a good job so far, holding control.
Well, Archives going on a streak himself. That's 6. One more for the artillery. And he's just playing around cautious. He's going to see Dees up top. Decimate will eventually go down. And that's the artillery. Both sides now have one. But it will be Nemo who continue to light up the kill feed here. And the system have got to be careful. Not only have they not got any points on this hill so far, but they play their cards wrong and they won't get any on the next either. Zed is now in a horrible position. No reinforcements. Has to try and hold off the P2 pressure coming through. And he's done exactly that. You can see on the kill feed, he's managed to hold them off for at least a while. Decimate as well, pushing them off P1. They've now flipped the spawns out. It's a big play from the system to bring them back in this.
Oh, but that was such a huge kill from Rambi. He got that kill onto Zinx and now perform it onto Desi. So this could be a good position for Nemo if Rambi could get this kill onto Zed, but he did not. He gets taken out, but the trades come through, and once again, we have Archives in the back, but Nemo still have the spawns back there, and the system, they are going to be fighting through the front. Streaks come in, Fellow able to connect on Archives, but team kill comes in from Desi. Not too good, but again, the fight comes in, and overall, it's just Nemo who just still, again, remain controlled. 35 seconds left on the clock. The rotation's going to start to come through, and I don't know, the system, it looks like they're still going to push this one. The streaks come in, and Desi looks like he's going to be aggressive to that green. Again with the team kill. They're just trading it off.
Payback.
I guess that's a little payback there.
Well, it will be the scrap time going in favor of Nemo, but we are again going to have a similar scenario of the system holding P3, and Nemo going to try and push it. Last time, wildly successful in breaking this initial lock. Can they do the same here? Will we perform? Could be first in, but I imagine waiting for teammates. They now know he's here. Here comes the push. They're waiting for this first blood before they can start making it chaotic. Look how slow they're playing. They're ready to stack, ready to go. Fellow already taken down Rambi, and it looks like they've stalled here. They aren't certain of taking these gunfights.
Yeah, test of patience coming in, but I'm surprised they didn't. They're gonna expect this one. Archives says he uses his streak, but doesn't manage to connect anybody. They flood right on through, but again, the system still locking down spawns, and that wasn't necessarily a good situation for Nemo. Now, there's still 25 seconds left on the clock, and if the system managed to hold every single last second, they're gonna bring this game right back in. And man, that was kind of an interesting situation. But now you have the spawn out from Nemo, and the system is going to move on forward, working towards the screen control. But it's still Nemo that is set up and getting those kills on rotation.
Yeah, interesting there. They stacked there to play around the artillery, and unfortunately, after all that delaying, nothing really happened of it. And that does mean that this is all tied at the moment. Fellow goes jumping in. Unfortunately, will be traded straight back away again, and same with Zed. And now you can see they're trying to stay alive here. How many times have we spoken about him in this scenario so far, just in this Garrison hardpoint? Here comes the pressure from Nemo. Zinx is trying to rebuff it by being up top tank. It's not going to work. Decimate now trying to hold down the mid. He's going to get taken out as well. Nemo get a big sweep there. The system have been rebuffed. 30 seconds left onto this one. One last push from the system, and they'll rotate.
Yep, That's right, and they have to win this because if Nemo holds both next two hard points, that could be a game win. So aggressive pushes come through. Now Desi is gonna start to work at this light side. This the scrap time, because that would be some good scrap time again. But overall, locking down this mid control here. This is gonna be really, really close. Nemo already set up kind of on the back here. This is a huge kill on the Archives, but Desi managed to get away with his life. And again, it's just kind of, it just seems like slow pushing all around. It's just everybody's just kind of playing patient, but Nemo set up again in the best positions possible, get the kills, and still remain the hold.
Dude, this is getting a little bit tight now between these two teams. Who will eventually come out on top? At the moment, Nemo have control as Rambi goes on a rampage and is trying to continue to shut down all of the system. At the moment, split spawn's coming in. Keep an eye. Very, very important here. No, it's not said. It's you can see that right now Nemo have control and they're looking for the P1. I don't know whether or not they are going to be able to get this. It's Zinx who's going to try and play foil. Sorry, I've got my Z's confused. As you can see, he's just hiding out of boxes. He doesn't want to move. He wants to get this pinch, ready for the next hill.
Yeah, ready for the next hill indeed. And Rambi is just still, he's just, every time we see this man, he's frying. Aggressive AR indeed, as he's getting set up now for his team, just constantly putting the pressure on, but he gets taken out by Desi. Now Archives, huge kill trade onto Desi as he pushes that mid area, but overall still very scrappy. The mid control is very huge right now as Archives is just dancing around the tank, and he manages to take out Zed, throws a nade in there onto Zinx, tags him up, but Zinx still alive. The streaks come in now from Desi. Doesn't manage to connect anybody or see anybody. Oh no, he did manage to get Archives. So now again, it's still the trades are coming in, but now finally the system managed to secure some scrap time, and now this rotation is going to be huge. The problem I see here for Nemo is they don't have control. The lead chain deficit is very, very tight. They have to win this rotation. They have to.
I don't know if anybody's got any streaks left. This is where it will come down to, because it will be a win here for the system if they can hold. Decimate already doing an awful lot of job, but that spawn has flipped. That is disastrous for them. Zinx is going to try and hold towards bricks. You can see Fellow here at the same time. Players now piling into this point from the system. They know they're going to have to hold this. They don't have as much control as they would like. And more players flooding onto the hill as well. Rambi's now gone in. Fellow's managed to get him at the same time. Zyro trying to get one. Archives has got a player. And now Fellow is fighting for his life at the back. He's going to go down, and so does Decimate. And that may be the end of it here. Realistically, the system now have to go through top green. I don't know if they can go around the back. I don't think they've got enough time. They have to contest. They are going to try it. But with only 8 seconds left to go, they have to punch through Arch. And Zyril is here. He shuts down Zinx. Zed's going to have to jump up. They're flying out of top green. It is a sloppy push because they just don't have time to set it up. And that will be Nemo with map 1.
Wow. Well, I felt like the game was so close. I didn't necessarily, other than obviously Perform and Rambi kind of going off and getting like kills, I didn't really, nothing really stood out to me. Like both of these teams are just so evenly matched, I feel, Brace.
Yeah.
It's just a couple of rotations, a couple of hills lost, but overall it just seemed very tight knit.
Yeah, it certainly was, and like I said, right, that last push, take that for example, right? You thought realistically the system could have held it. That spawn came out, they didn't have bricks control, they couldn't get any kills through, they had to stack the hill, and once you do that, it's all gunfight related, right? If you lose the first trade, then you might end up losing the trade off of that one, and essentially what happened, and then essentially I thought they were going to try and flood top green. It's a nightmare. It would probably never ever work for you, but the other way, you have to run through the open and mid map. You know, there's going to be people, could be bricks, they could be all the way back L, they could be an arch where, you know, I think Zyro actually was in the end, and you're basically just running into gunfights, you know, and they tried to challenge from different ways. It just didn't work out because you have to sprint in.
Yep, that's right. And Nemo, just when they flooded onto the point, like that's exactly what they did. They sprinted in, they got their trades, they got the kills, and they just flooded it so perfectly to where it was harder for the system to hold. But I will say, coming from the system, this is not surprising, but a little bit just with how strong we saw them start off. But again, you can't count out Nemo. I mean, they obviously are here for a reason. you know, they beat a team that essentially was in the every single stage, and it came as a surprise to us all. But now you guys are seeing why. So, moving forward, yeah, I'm really, really excited to see how the Search and Destroy turns out.
Yeah, and like I said before, right, we talked about it a little bit before game. Essentially, last time these two teams went at it, it was Nemo who came out on top, and System obviously looking for revenge, had a pretty good series all the way through, essentially. But this is the last hurdle. Even if they lose this, though, they will have one more chance in that lower bracket. But winning it in winners is obviously easier than having to kind of continue on playing through here. But no, you are right. It's anyone's game. Last time was a 3-2, and I think that speaks volumes of how close these two teams actually are coming into this. And we spoke about it in Europe. I don't know if people here in this conversation right now were here in Europe, but we had 2 Game 5s as well come right down to the wire, and I expect to see the same here in North America. Simple reason being is not only are we really deep into Challenge Elite in Stage 4, but also the amount of Call of Duty that's been played, and only the best players get to this stage anyway. So it's always going to be pretty close between them. Me personally, I don't know exactly how this one is going to end. I feel like Nemo probably have the advantage now after winning map 1 and winning the last series. We spoke before about the system actually having a little bit of a, not downgrade, but a less of their juggernaut rolling over as long as they did when they first came into it. But I don't know. I think momentum is definitely on Nemo's side.
I agree. And yeah, you are right. It's essentially they are a very, very strong hardpoint team, but you can never count it out. But this is what kind of scares me about this next map coming up on Raid. Raid S&D is one of Nemo's, like, this is Nemo's strongest map on Search. So if they essentially beat the system, what could have been like a either way on, you know, on the hard point, I feel like they're in a pretty good spot and they're feeling very confident right now, because if S&D Raid is like one of their strongest maps of going into this, you know, that's probably what they're feeling. Oh my gosh, we're playing a map that, you know, we win majority of the time, and we're comfortable on this map. So going into Raid, I feel like for Nemo, they might have a slight edge on that, and just like you said, just coming off from that hard point win, maybe just that momentum factor.
Yeah, well, that's a huge thing as well, right? If we go into this S&D and Nemo end up taking it because it is one of their favorite maps, then going into the control, there is an incredible amount of pressure on the system, of course. Their backs will be against the wall. Would they be able to reverse sweep it at that point? I just don't know. And I guess that's why we're here, right? We've thought about it before, right? Everything that happens in the North American Challenge Elite region, and just to recap it for those of you who don't understand what we're talking about, 3rd to 6th of now playing in a knockout bracket, a double elimination bracket. The top 2 that come out of that bracket will go into our playoffs tomorrow with the top 2 from the round robin series, so we eventually find our champion. The lower 2 of this will, of course, not only be eliminated from our knockout bracket, but also out of Challengers Elite. They will have to re-qualify the following season. Something some very big teams have failed to do before because of the competition out there. So there is a lot more on the line than it first appears than just winning this game. So, as I say that, let's get into our Search and Destroy, find out how these two teams are going to go to war. The system versus Nemo, and we jump on with Nemo first of all.
And so far, it looks like Nemo's coming out hot with an aggressive B push. And Zyro already taking out Fellow. First blood for them. Now, this is already in a good spot as Perform is on the bomb. The plant goes down and the flood comes through, Grace.
Oh my goodness, Zed! Try and do some work there, as we did see him before last time I actually cast him. He had a great time on the S&D, but not able to get that second kill, and it leaves Zinx in a 1 versus 2. And that bomb is down, and he will know it. Is he going to try and go for the peak check? Now, he sees nobody on it. Now, at the moment, he's trying to figure out where on earth have these Nemo players gone. He doesn't have the information. They're probably trying to double chat him.
That's right, and they're going to start to slowly push through mid, and Zinx is still on these pool stairs here, and he might get perfect timing. He got Rambi now. He gets away with his life now in a 1 versus 1 versus Zyro. I almost got my Z's mixed up, but this is close. 30 seconds left, and he might actually get timing too. He sees him. But Zyro manages to get away with his life now. 25 seconds left remains on the clock. The bomb is still down on the B site. Nemo have to plant. Zinx, you could just essentially play time here. Force the team, play the clock, force him to plant, but he knows he's not on bomb. Bomb's down, checks it. Zyro gets timing on him, and just like that, that is just COD timing right there. Such a close situation, but Zyro able to come through. Now lead the series 1-0.
Yeah, that was crazy. Zyro obviously got those 2 as well. Shut down Zed and Decimate, but Yeah, Zinx, he went to go check the bomb there, and he was trying to figure out exactly where that player was. And once he jumped out, it was an easy pick for Zyral, who actually, I said he got 3. He got 4. He got everybody that round. It is an ace for him.
It's an ace.
Ridiculous play. The 1v1, the ace, everything you could possibly get, and that does put Nemo ahead.
That's right. Now, but this time around, it looks like the system's going to aggressively push through. Fellow with the 2-piece. Huge opening already for the system. Now Zed's going to work his way onto the bomb site, get the plant down, and Desi's back laundry. Got a couple shots in there with Rambi and Zyral, who are potentially there for the trade. Stuns comes through, but no push. 2v2, Desi, Zed, Zyral, Rambi. Zed gets Rambi down. Now Zyral just patiently waiting in the back, knowing that there's multiple players here. 3, 4 all stacked laundry. Oh, that's the impossible. I don't think you can 1v4 that one this time. So now the system take this round.
Well, that was that first 2-piece by Fellow, but it's a horrible situation for Zyral to be in a 1v4, and they're all jumping around the corner at you, but brings this back to a 1-1 between them, and the system will be looking to kind of get their momentum back after losing that very first hardpoint map. So we're on the attack again with Nemo. Went great for them last time, but only because of Zyral. As we jump on board with them, it's going to be looking like a B push from them. Up top, going to scope this one out. There's Fellow. Not trying to get picked this time. Mayonnaise going through. Now they know. You can see the crowd coming in. And well, we decimate on pool stairs. Shuts them down. Takes down the trophy. Zyral, though, will eventually take him down. And so will Rambi. It's brought back to a 2 versus 2 after that start.
2 versus 2 now. Both teams just waiting. I don't blame them. The pressure's on.
So...
Oh, go ahead.
This is the slow push here. They're going to try and get through as well. Rambi throws a shoulder at the same time, and Zed will get a butt to the face. And now Ziggs is going to come around this corner. This two of them is now Hassan furiously back. He's going to be double tailed at the same time. Somehow wins that gunfight. Comes around the corner and got picked out. Oh my goodness. What a round of just chaos. When we thought a team would have it, they no longer do. And now somehow, some way, they walk away with it. Decimate.
Huge.
And that was a 1 versus 2 clutch. Ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous there, Brycey. But the system, that I feel like they switched the momentum from that one. Zinx, what a monster. I think we've seen that a couple of times today, too, on this map. I feel like specifically the 2 pieces with the pistol. But the aggressive side. Yeah?
Well, as I've done that information, I will apologise. I did incorrectly reference Nemo beating the system last time around. And I can't even blame anyone else. I actually have stats in front of me, and it does say it that way around. I've just read it wrong. I have no idea why. I sounded so confident doing it as well. I looked at it again and just went, oh yeah, it is that way around. I do apologise, but it was system that won 3-2 last time against Nemo. Blame the time of night or whatever.
So it's Nemo that wants the revenge, and the revenge that happens. Desi gets taken down. Zed now gets the trade onto Perform. Gonna get the shots into Zyral, but Zyral manages to squeeze away with his life. But still, this is really hard for Zed, stuck in a sticky situation. But he's gonna wait patiently.
Manages to get out here, but there is a player, P5. Zed doesn't know where to go. He's waiting for his teammate. He needs the help desperately. See Rambi. He's trying to find Archives. Zed's managed to jump into P5, but he is in a horrible scenario. And Archives says, well, thank you very much. He's just going to sit there and I can pick you off at my leisure.
Sneaky, sneaky. Yeah, I definitely don't think they were expecting that one. But that was...
P5, by the way. I get caught by it so often.
It's sticky. Sneaky. You just don't expect it sometimes.
It's just too many ways to look. Whenever you head into P5, like with its 4 entrances and also the rocks in the middle, the corners and the low walls.
Yeah.
Like it's horrible. It's why you see many players hesitate if they don't have P5 control to go anywhere near it. It's just the worst way. Thinking out of options you have to pick here. And again, it's going to play off one more time. Zed gets 2 and Zinx will pick up the 3rd. And this is exactly what I said, you know. Oh, Zyral says, I'm had enough of this one. Off the map I go.
That was a very fast round.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, it kind of backed up what I was saying, right? Like, you see these 2 players rush out into P5, and there's just too many places to check. And says that, thank you very much, because Zinx ended up getting the 3rd by being into kitchen. So that's the issue with it.
Yeah, you gotta be careful of that mid push. But now Zed up 2 streak. Can he keep the heat up? Aggressive play. Looks like they're making their way towards A. Stun nades come through. It's already the aggressive play coming through from Fellow, but performs. Takes him out. Now the trades come in. Archives takes down Jinx and Desi, of course. Playing that aggressive mid now. 2 versus 2, evening up the odds.
Oh, Decimate now going to play with his teammate. Will be Zed and checking basketball here, and I'm wondering if he's going here. They're going to be trying to get all the way around. And the timing on that one, by the way. Decimate slipped through the net. Perform coming up. He's going to find him, though. Does get it. Now it leaves Zed in a 1 versus 2. And these two players, I was going to say, Spiral should know where he is. Just have to turn ever so slightly. And it is now 3-3 between these two teams.
I feel like this is the second kill cam where we've saw someone from Nemo around this general area. And so check it. Check it. But Nemo, this is, oh man, this is just so close. These teams are just so strong. And again, expecting to see another A push here aggressively from both teams. Full out tackle coming in through. Now Zed takes down Archives. Now Zyro gets the trade onto Fellow, but Rambi anticipating that shot up top, not anticipating Zinx in his back though. But once again, Brycey, here we have another 2 versus 2. The bomb being down though is the problem for Nemo, and they have the system holding on to it and Perform. A couple shots in there to Desi, getting away with his life, but Zyro team communication obviously came in right there, and he managed to get that kill onto Laundry here, Brycey. But Desi's tough left and alone in 1 versus 2. Gets Zyro again. Can you get the second? No, that was very close. It's again Nemo answering back, now taking the lead.
He almost called this perfectly as well. You see, he takes down Zyro and actually slides to pre-aim, but just goes to sprint after he sees nobody there. He was expecting. And half a second, and he may have managed to get it. But now, we will see the system on the attack. On board with Zinx. Currently 6-4. And just based off the break, it could be a heavy A push. This has worked out for them before. And now, just keeping an eye. Sees nobody pushing that side Laundry. And at the moment, they are trying to get ring control. Fellow again, trying to get in that same position they got on with 2-piece before. This time, no joy. Mate, actually trying to take a very difficult gunfight with an AKU because there's usually going to be a Krig in that area. Problem now for the system is they don't have an awful lot of control. They're going to have to make a push somewhere, and they could end up walking into the gun sites. And it will be Rambi who takes down Decimate. And Zed is all in no man's land. And while he has ring control, that's about all he does have.
Yeah, but once again, Nemo is just set up right around it. But the only person who could make a problem is Zinx. He's pull stairs right now. And if he can get a couple kills mid, he gets shots into Rambi. But now that's trouble for him. They know exactly where he is. And he has 2 players poolside to worry about. Now, Fellow able to take down Perform, but he did lose Zed. So now, Fellow's left in a 1 versus 3. There's 25 seconds left on the clock. This is going to be very tough. And again, Nemo comes out on top that round. That's really tough if you're the system. Because like you said, Brycey, initially, they kind of just pushed up a little bit and then stopped. No control. The Nemo essentially had full control. Zinx really was the only factor that round that could have potentially made some noise, but Rambi, he was able to get away and not get taken down. And it just obviously, sometimes in Search and Destroy, playing your life, even if you don't get a kill, just playing your life can make all the biggest difference.
Well, they have to try and play their lives a little bit here. It is going to be an opening there, and it's horrible. And maybe one more bullet in Zed. Zed's going to go down anyway. And it comes down to a 2 versus 2. I feel like this happens pretty much every single time between these two teams. The initial flurry, and then we're in a 2v2 scenario. And as we can see, at the moment, Nemo do not have their own bomb, but they do still have Zyro, who is 13-4. So this is Ravi, and that's an absolute clinical shot. It will be Zyro in a 1 versus 2 for the map and the 2-0 lead. Here we
Like you
go.
said,
Going all the way around. And down. Well, that was an anticlimax. I was expecting a little bit more.
I was too. I was gonna say, like you said, they had Zyral, and that's not a bad thing to have. Because I mean, look at him, he's beaming. But so is Fellow.
Well, staying alive. The system are still in this one. Let's see. Exactly how is this now going to go down? System on the attack here, and again, they've chosen to go towards A. Mixed bag for them so far tonight. I think so. Similar scenario. Again, this time around, they haven't left the person towards garage. They've chosen to go heavy onto the ring, and Desmate's going to go in for the performance. He's actually going to jump past the player, and already Perform will get 2. It's now Zinx in a 1 versus 4. No cover, no positioning. No way of winning 4 individual gunfights when they refuse to engage him, and down he goes. Nemo will take the win in the Search and Destroy. And Ellen, you said it was their favorite map here. We get to see this again. Look at this. Decimate jumps in, and Zed jumps in the window, but unfortunately goes right past the player in the corner.
Yeah, that was such a crazy stop from Perform right there. But I did see what the system was trying to do. Essentially, like you said, they gave up that pull side because they wanted to have a 4-man push and push through and maybe even wrap around B. I know we've seen that strat plenty of times, even in previous Black Ops 2 raid, but it just didn't work out. If Perform didn't essentially get that 2-pace, maybe it would have, but good stop coming from Nemo. And again, yep, like you said, like I said, when you just said, raid, Search and Destroy. It's their map, and we just see why. Zyral, I mean, double-digit kills. Enough said.
Yeah, had a pretty good map. After ace in round 1, didn't actually slow down, continued to pile on the pressure, and hey, it certainly helps when you've got a player doing that much damage here as well. But there were certainly some scrappy rounds as well. That one we are currently watching is one of them. Zinx managing to win a 1 versus 2 after actually having the advantage with his team earlier on. But it was certainly a crazy Search and Destroy between these two teams, and I honestly didn't know which way it was going to go most of the time. I think Nemo realistically just managed to get the better of those 2v2 scenarios more often, and that's what it ended up coming down to. But, you know, when you say it's their strongest map, that's kind of what it comes out to as well. It's also a little bit of bad luck, I would say, on the side of the system, you know, especially that last round, right? Zed, they both went straight into Laundry and Perform pretty much called it beautifully, right? Sat in the corner and managed to get both. Ridiculous turn of events for them, but now Nemo are on match point. 1 control to go if they can win this.
Right. And you mentioned that them getting caught off guard. It's true. They got caught off guard too mid-map. They weren't expecting, I believe it was Archives and Zyral just laying down right there in that corner by the courtyard. So it's a tough situation for them, but now pressure's on. So the system, they really obviously they need this win. So hopefully they don't fall apart too much. But as we go into raid control, I'm kind of worried, because if Nemo's playing raid like that, going into this control, clearly I believe that they're going to feel pretty comfortable.
Yeah, they certainly are. And of course, if we don't end on raid control, we've got Checkmate Hardpoint coming up next, and then Express Search and Destroy if we go the distance. But it will now be the system who have to reverse sweep if they want to go through into playoffs at this point. They will get another chance if they lose. They go into lower bracket. They'll fight the teams down there for one more opportunity to actually get this one locked down now.
Yeah, correct. And I will say, I will just note, the system during this stage, they have won raid control more so than the other maps. So if this is essentially Nemo's, you know, one of their favorite maps, let's say, to play on, it's also the systems as well. So going into this, I'm just really expecting a close game as both teams' favorite map.
All right, well, let's find out if that is going to be the way this all goes down. So straight on to raid control then. Back once again into raid, and now we're on board with what is going to be a very heavy B push off the beginning, and you can see that now Nemo have caught them a little bit unawares. This sometimes works out It is the hardest site, but if you can get it early, you pretty much guaranteed to win the round. It's very, very difficult to hold A for the entirety. They have numbers here. They just need some good trades.
That's right. But they still have to worry about Zed in the back pool house there. But again, or excuse me, the basketball court. And never mind, Rami just took him down with no problem. And here's the problem for the system. Like you said, if they manage to capture B, it's very much so easier to capture A. And Rambi could have been started a spawn trap there, but it's a very huge kill from Desi. Archives, very huge kill on the pool, but they did not manage to capture B. So the rotation comes in through kitchen now. Boom, Zinx is gone. So essentially what they want to work here is, again, another trap. Split the enemy up, and it looks like they kind of just did that. Now they're capturing A, and the system is getting that deep pool spawn. And overall, it's just like the whole entire mid-map and the A site is just, raid side is completely locked down from Nemo.
I'm not going to lie to you, Nemo looks a little bit like poetry in motion there at the moment. Players flying all over the place and holding down every lane. Eventually, though, that has faltered. They are almost going to get their third tick onto A. And we go into our traditional on this map now, slot towards B. Already having one tick on it does give them a slightly better chance of capturing here. A few kills going down the mid-map. They're trying to get to control, though. Zed is already here, going to pre-fire Cyril, but Cyril takes him down before he can commit. Decimate has finally managed to get that trade there, though, and it will now be a reset for Nemo. The only player they have who can try to upset the balance is going to be right here at the back, and Perform is already down.
That's right. Desi, once he gets going, he's on a 3 streak. He cannot be stopped, and that's exactly what's happening. Getting set up in a position to where he can be a nuisance in Nemo's base, and Zed, again, locking down that mid-map. It's just so essential. So, again, the trades come through, but this is looking pretty good if you're the system. Push the enemy back. They have a minute left, but the kills are fairly even on both teams. And fellow shots, nice shots from him, taking a 2-piece down that raid side, and Zinx locking down the pool side. Nemo, they're going to have to flood to the front, but again, Pool House, the problem I see here for the system, though, is Pool House is not in control. So essentially, if they have Pool House control, Nemo has Pool House control, it's going to be very, very easy to, much more easier to push through that B front side. And as you see, they already managed to get the kills. Zed potentially be an upset right here.
Not looking for a player in Tiki, not able to get him. Zed now pushing forward here, trying to get this player. Playing it so calm and careful. Eventually we'll take it down, and that will be an issue. Nemo will have to try and break this, but with only 20 seconds left to go, any player that goes down becomes a hole in their push. They just don't have the numbers in position to do it, and they certainly don't once all your players get wiped out and just may get 2 to end it. And that will be everything there with only 2 players left. There's just no way they're going to get through this. And the system closing for the kill and take that first round.
Yeah, great control too. Desi, just such a nuisance, doing his job so well. As you see, just playing patiently, being aggressive. It's just so amazing how well.
All right. Well, let's see how this is going on at the moment. And just want to give a quick shout out to our observers at the moment, obviously. Doing fantastic work, bringing all the gameplay and action. I do very much appreciate you keeping an eye on the gameplay for us, because without it, I'll just be staring at a wall somewhere. So big shout out to them from everybody from the casters and production.
All right, well, the system's already starting off strong, as they already have a tick onto A. And, well, you have Zed already being aggressive, controlling this art side and mid, and Rambi does manage to take him out, but still, it's the system that has a tick and a half at A. Not a bad start for them. Desi able to read that flank there from Performal, but Archives now on the pool side, dancing around, but Zinx controlling, gets traded out by Zaro. It's just, the trades just happen so fast there, but again, Zed's over there capturing A. Now the rotation's going to come through mid, but Kitchen, it's going to go down. Zed managed to take out Rambi. Did he get the second? No. Perform able to take him out. So again, Kitchen control is key here, Brycey. Fellow on that laundry side, he can hold this here, but he needs to wait for his teammates to get that mid Kitchen push. But he gets taken down, and now Zyro on a 5 streak. This is looking pretty tough if you're the system.
It is, and well, I mean, Zinx is going to go down there to begin with. They still have time though, and one big push could make the difference. And now they're going to try and make it happen. Fellow trying to get onto B, already getting some time, stopping that clock. Decimate going to come through the stairs here, looking for Archives. He knows he's here, goes for the pre-fire, eventually has to back off. This isn't clean at the moment. The system need another wave of kills to actually try and commit for this, but the first tick is down. Zed, though, is pinned in this corner, can't move, no room. But still, continuing to get through. Eventually takes down Zyral, gets back in the corner, goes for Gareth Ramby! That was ridiculous. Zed should not have been able to make that, and that may have just won him this round.
Oh, that was huge. Just has to wait there, and Zinx picked up the kill in the front. Desi also did as well. Oh my God, Zed, what a huge two-piece. And being in that position, it's so hard. He was in a position where they couldn't necessarily see him from that angle, right? You had the person coming from Money. You had a person coming from Pool who kind of peeked it. He won that gunfight and then just turned and burned. And man, that was insane. That was insane. For a second, it looked scary because they were spawning out. It looked like Nemo had complete control, but the system able to maintain composure, wipe out the kills, and just push forward. And obviously that clutch play from Zed. Now he's on a 3 streak. So let's see if he can keep up the heat. This is going to be huge. If they win this, Pricey, I mean, obviously their backs are against the wall.
Will be the start of the reverse sweep if they can continue it, but at the moment, Nemo will be looking to try and convert this attacking round. Currently, Ramby going to be sitting there, but they don't have the numbers. It's just going to be Ramby who's trying to shut them down as it comes through, but it will be the system to lock it. The problem being is once you make all those kills a day, you give them the B spawn, and that's probably what they're going to push here. Now having P5 control, Decimate managing to slow it down just a bit, staying alive. Perform, though, will clean up that very, very easily. And the system have now got bodies over towards Tiki.
That's right. On the attacking side, though, Nemo looks like that pool control does not fully had by the system, but they have Ramby here to worry about as he's trying to lock it down and Archives, but huge two-piece coming in from them as they looking to capture this potentially and Perform. He's going to stop that push as he controls the kitchen side. This is such a power position, I feel like. But it looks like they forced the spawn front laundry, and the system essentially to break this, they're going to wrap around through pool, push through those mid pool steps, and work a collapse. But Ramby takes down Zed. Can he get the second on the Desi? No. The trade comes through. So now, again, this is kind of looking really scary if you're the system, but they need to stop it here. They have to stop it now.
You can see here comes the big push. And Zyral in a great position here. Got to play his life though. Zinx on his left, and Zinx will end up shutting him down here. The hard hold here from the system. And unfortunately, it's all going to fall on Zinx's shoulders. He has to be a stopgap here. Just making the flood through Zed though. Going to find one. Finds a second at the same time. Zyral will eventually take him down, but he's brought a bit of breathing room. System can now try and get back into position. Already one going down at the same time. Fellow gets two, and the system, this is the hard hold, but they are doing it so far.
That's right. Completely set up Zed, just holding down this art side sneaky, but Form able to take him down, and now Desi's going to rotate over and pick up that mid. Mid is very, very essential for this. Fellow in kitchen locking it down, able to take out Archives, but he gets traded out, and now again, the system is doing such a very good job at holding this A site. As like you said, it's much harder to hold, but 35 seconds remain. Once again,
this is all on Nemo now. They have a few players in position. They have to make the correct trade. One big push. The system only have 3 players remaining as they start to jump onto A here. Decimate, though, in a great position of Van. He is going to be shot at. Ramby trying to go for him as well. Shoots under the Van. Decimate staying alive. More progress coming onto A. Eventually going to go down. It's now a 2 versus 4. Zed flying out of top art. He is going to go down himself. Zinx in a 1 versus 4. And it looks like Nemo have stopped this now for so long during that round. I thought the system might be able to do it, but that's the break. And that's all they needed to give them some breathing room. Now win the defense, which is slightly easier the majority of the time. We could be going to round 5 on control.
That's right. That's right. That it did look like it. Constantly, you've seen Desi, you've seen Zed pushed up into that art, just being aggressive, and it looked scary there for a second, but Nemo able to come out on top. I'm just curious to see how the system worked this one. Last time around, I believe we saw an aggressive A push. This time around, we might.
We're not going to try for the same trick second time, but the system may end up going for a big A commitment here and just locking it down and trying to use the time as efficiently as possible. Zyril, though, going to take down Decimate, and it doesn't really look like they're going for a big collapse here. Zyril might just do it himself. None of his teammates coming to help him out. Eventually, we'll be taking down Rambi, though. Comes through pillars and does eventually lock it. Zinx, I don't know how you won that gunfight. I have no idea. That shouldn't have happened. Now with it slowly ticking down, they've got P5 control, and they are actually now going to try and stop this as well. Archives going for Zinx. They're not committing too much here. They are aware that if they made a big loss, they could end up losing B as well. But at the moment, it is all going well for Nemo. They've held off A for a little while. The longer they hold it off, the better chance they've got. And they do have live control. And that may be it here. Now they've got players back onto A. They may give this up and concentrate on locking down B.
Yeah, that essentially would be the better option as, well, I was going to say, as you had performed setup poolside, but Desi, huge kill onto him, cleared out that pool house. And again, Nemo's looking to stack the kitchen, and Fellow just pre-firing in there with his teammate Zinx. Zinx gets a 2-piece. But again, you can see after how they break this one here, Bracey. It's like, essentially, Zed goes down, Zinx goes down, but essentially, I feel like they're going to have to go around, flooding through the front. They have a minute and a half. They have some time here, Bryce. They have time. Just constantly flooding through the front. They don't want to panic, but Fellow managed to squeeze on through. And also Zed there with him in hand. Looks like they managed to make it to happen. So getting that first tick onto here might be beneficial here. And still have Nemo to worry about flooding the pool stairs.
This is where it gets big. He's going to go down, and as you can see, as I said before, defense slightly easier. Nemo are in a great position here. The problem being is every time you lose a few players from the system on any of these pushes, it slows it right down though. Decimate going to get that first one coming through. They are stacking players onto this. You've got to be careful. They get all three on. Unfortunately, one's just got down as I say that, and the second one. One player left to Tiki. And it's another hard push. They've got to get through into kitchen. They've got to get through P5. They've also, it looks like here, got to control pool stairs, but it's not easy at any stage here for the system, but they do manage to get 2 kills to begin with. Boom, he's going to go down as well. Zed makes a huge 2-piece again for this one. Zinx gets it. They're now going to pile on as Zinx gets a 5-3. Rambi's actually going to drop the artillery. It gives them a breathing room. They've taken down Decimate. They're going to get straight back on it, though. Zed gets to that corner. Second tick done. But here come Nemo. Are they going to get here in time before? They're looking for it. Fellow's trying to hold it off. Decimate holding the stairs. They're flying in at every point, and the system will get the map. And somehow they are just able to break it again there. I think it was Zinx with the 5, and I think Zed with his 2-piece.
Zed. Yeah, Zinx and Zed. And you know, really, Zed did it again. It was the same situation, I feel like, too. He just turned and burned onto that person on money, and it's just that sneaky corner on that point. But the system played that so well. I feel like in situations where they could have been in trouble, they were able to capitalize on those moments, and every gunfight that was important, they were able to win it. I mean, look at, you got Zinx beaming like that. You had Zed, Fellow constantly getting 2 pieces. So at the end of the day, I just feel like they were just really, really tight-knit and getting such important kills there to hold them.
Yeah, they certainly were, and that is certainly the breathing room they needed, because now they still have the hard fight away from them. Do the system have it in them, though, to make a reverse sweep? That is the question we will be asking as we move on to our second hard point of this series so far. Nemo started out strong, but I don't know. The system realistically looked a bit of a cut above there. Decimate was absolutely frying.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's crazy. Every time you see Tessie, every time I see him with that sub in his hand, once he gets going, it's like it's lights out. Like, you don't want Decimate to get on fire, because as soon as you do, it's just, like I said, it's lights out. And I feel like he brings that momentum for his team, especially just being such a veteran player. And, you know, it's just so huge. It's just a momentum factor when you're gaming, when you're playing and with your team. And God, sometimes when I see stuff like that, it makes me miss competing. I'm not gonna lie, it makes me miss playing, because it's such an exciting feeling when you see one of your teammates popping off, and you see it in the gameplay. And man, Decimate, yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah, certainly. And there were several scenarios like that. We spoke about Zed. He didn't have the greatest game KD wise, but some of the plays he made were very, very influential. Same with Zinx, right? Having your teammates back is always going to be one of the best things you can do as an AR, and basically having their crosses allows you to make those moves and happen time and time again. They seem very well coordinated in their pushes, and I think that was probably the difference for them there on that map. But I don't know, you know, that did seem like a bit of a different team compared to what we saw in the last 2 ones from them. I wonder if this is going to be a reverse sweep or whether or not it's going to be just a shutdown here 3-1. I honestly don't know between these two. Like I said, last time it was a 3-2. This time, I was sitting there thinking Nemo were just going to shut it down. I genuinely thought, oh, this might be a 3-0. It's like genuinely might be a 3-0, but not the case to be. Another hard point to go.
Yeah, definitely. And when you take a look at Checkmate, I mean, if we went to the statistics side, when it comes to Checkmate Hardpoint, I think Nemo essentially only played this once and they won it. Okay, so realistically, I mean, looking at it, we don't know. Like you said, they barely played it. The system, I believe, on Hardpoint and Checkmate, they haven't even played it at all this stage. So this is kind of like a toss-up map. Last time around, like you said, 3-2, and then it was the system that came out on top. And this time around, we'll find out. But when you look at this Checkmate Hardpoint, I'm really just going to be looking at those AR fights and that plane control, and just seeing the fights between obviously the duo Zinx and Fellow, and Rambi. I mean, he was popping off on the first map. So if they're able to continue maybe that level of slaying here, maybe we can see Nemo come out on top if we want to look at their respawns. But I don't know, Brycey.
I don't know. I think the problem with Checkmate, right, is it's essentially one of these weird maps where you never find either the ARs or the SMGs being overly dominant. When you talk about going into the plane, then yeah, you can say, oh, okay, well, I can see why, you know, you'd speak about the SMGs coming through, but for the vast majority of the rest of it, holding down big sight lines is very, very influential between them. If I was going to play it on just who I think was hotter at the moment, then it'd probably be the system, right? You saw how well Decimate was playing in basically every scenario. How many times did we speak about him lighting up the kill feed or making massive two pieces? It's certainly going to be a factor here. Certainly one of the players to keep an eye on as we go into this next hard point. Can he keep up that same level of tempo and the same ability to make crazy kills? Because if he can't, then they're really going to struggle, I think.
Right. That's true. And I'm not sure. I don't know. It's tough. You look at a player like Decimate, and I'm just like, I'm baffled because he just has always popped off, and even just coming from the CDL, I'm just surprised to not even still see him there. I'm surprised that he's here again, obviously just coming from Seattle. So we already know this player has a lot to offer and can bring a lot to the table. So I just see a big future for Desi. I mean, we've already know in the past he's already been so successful. So moving forward, I am expecting to continue to see him here and maybe back in the CDL. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, Brycey, again, when it comes to this next match, who's gonna come out on top. But like you said, if that control, the system keep that momentum up. I mean, they reverse sweeped, I think, the first time around. We just might see it. We might see it again.
Yeah, we certainly get one thing to also bear in mind here as we talk you through this and what has been happening. Obviously, we had our whole round robin, and the system actually have the better record as well coming into this, right? They went 5-2.
That's right.
Obviously, Nemo went 4-3. One of those games being against each other, which definitely gave the system the advantage. So, realistically, they look like they're on much better footing, the system here. Going down 2-0 was not what we were thinking was going to happen coming into this, even if I did read it wrong the very first time. But coming through this now, of course, and how influential it is, I'll give everyone a recap of essentially what is happening right now. These are knockout games, but it's not knockout in the way that you would think of, because every game we watch tonight will have some influence on what is going to happen next. This game, for instance, the winner will go forward into our playoffs tomorrow. Only 4 teams make it to that point. Not only do they get the chance to play to win it, but the extra prize money and, of course, the automatic qualification for Stage 5 of Challengers Elite. The loser of this game will drop down to the lower bracket. There's already a lower bracket going on. The team from that will be eliminated. Then we get the other two play. One goes into the playoff and one goes out. If you finish bottom 4, essentially, if you were the bottom 2 in the table or don't qualify through this knockout bracket, you are removed from Challengers Elite. You are no longer part of that system. You have to go through the open qualifiers again to try to compete into stage 5. Something not a lot of teams consistently do once they drop out of it. Team changes, everything else, you know how Call of Duty works. So there is an awful lot to watch on these games. This first one is about the playoff spot. The next one we watch, if we don't catch up with the lower bracket, will be the one where a team goes up and a team goes down. So every game we watch tonight is super important for not only the careers, but how these teams are going to play in the future as we wrap up our season. That was a large mouthful. I was just trying to explain it to everyone going home, but that's some of the stuff and the pressure that is being put onto these players today.
Yeah, you said it well. You said it well. Keep rambling, because at this point I'm running out of things to talk about. I just want to see what happens.
I'll be honest with people watching. We are currently waiting for Decimate. I'm not entirely certain what is happening, but something is certainly happening at the moment because we are waiting to go into our checkmate hard points. And okay. So something's happening, and production just told me what it is, and it's not something I can probably say on the stream, but we are currently waiting for the player to return, and as soon as they do, we will jump into the next game. Don't worry, it's not anything serious. It's just something I don't particularly want to talk about on stream, the habits of players. But we are currently waiting for them to go forward.
Water break.
I suppose one thing we should really talk about with these teams is Zyril. He had a great first map as well, right? We spoke about how great he was doing, but not only that, the S&D and everything else has come through with them here. This Nemo team, you said before, right? Like, they kind of come out and shocked a few people.
Right. And Zyril, I'm very impressed with him because, I believe Zyril was in stage 1 though, right? I believe it was. I mean, these players come and go, like Brycey said, they change often, and the team rosters don't particularly make it, but they change it obviously to make a better roster. So I just, sorry if my memory precedes me, but I believe we've seen Zyril before, but now with the AR in hand, like, he's just absolutely dominating. Every single map he's been consistent, and the search and destroy, it's going to be a factor. So with his AR in hand, I definitely expect him to see him go off on this checkmate. But you know, they are, this is what the scares about for Nemo, is just the fact that they have played hardpoint this stage more consistently, I feel like, over the system. So looking statistically wise, terrible at stats. This is why I kind of need someone to tell me. Just looking at it, I mean, if you want to look at it, they would favor that, but again, the system is such a
All right, well, enough fuss rambling. I know people are waiting here, and we're just waiting for this game to get underway. I can now confirm the players have returned. We are going to go into checkmate hardpoint to find out exactly how this one is going to go down. If you are just joining us, or you've forgotten, because it has been a while, the current series score is 2-1 in favor of Nemo against the system. Now, let's jump on board with Nemo, currently on the sticks with Rambi.
Rambi already free firing. A couple tags into Fellow, but no one does manage to pass out. But again, it's just a scrappy hill, right? It's always a scrappy hill. It's always the battle of the plains, but so far,
the battle of the wall bangs.
Yeah, the battle of the wall bang plains, over and over again.
Nobody has ever been able to explain to me, by the way, why that wall you can bang through and the other walls
not the
you
other
can't.
One.
Yeah, not 10 and 5. You just can't bang through them. I don't know what they're made out of, unobtainium or something, because all the other walls you can. But at the moment, it will be the system who've come out hot here. All the points so far in this game in their favor, and now looking to break P2. They've got the good spawn at the same time. You're going to see Nemo trying to back up. Rambi gets caught, and Performer's holding his gunfight. Eventually gets one. Looking for Fellow. Oh, he's going to not make that gunfight. I thought he had it. It was a good snap, but not good enough. Zyril, though, going towards the back. He has slipped the net here, and he's looking for Fellow. Did he see a foot? A boot? He's looking for Fellow there in the end. And Fellow might reach out this as well. There's only 2 points, 22 points of health remaining. And now the system again are in control of P2.
That's right, and Fellow in a very good spot. But he gets taken down by Rambi, and This could look good for Nemo if they can float on in and get these kills, and it's gonna happen. But Zed pre-firing that AL crate gets taken down by Rambo through the crate, and Desi again with the huge 2-piece, but not enough to solidify the spawns. This Nemo needed. They were down. I think they had like 5 points, but never mind. Zinx said thank you very much there as he took down Nemo, but kind of taking that scrap time away from them. Only 10 seconds, 15 seconds left remain for that. But now the battle again underneath the plane this time come through, and it's the system who are set up. Zyro looking to make a play, but he gets shut down by Zinx. Again, traded. I feel like every time I see someone's getting traded, it's definitely key for those positions. But again, it's just these teams are just so back and forth in terms of kills, but it's still Nemo who hold on, and the system who have a bad system in place right now.
At the moment, both teams fighting for this one, but of course, at the moment, realistically, the system aren't too worried about pushing this. They want to try and keep down the street. Unfortunately, they have all been wiped out here, but you see Fellow in this position to try and cut anybody who comes through. Not going to commit too much to this gunfight. He knows he's making to get in position for it. But it takes a player down and pre-firing everything, but that scrap time, while he will try and get on, is not his biggest concern. Now as the rotation comes through, it will be Nemo in control once again. And what they'll be looking to do here is they can push out the far side, try and flip the spawns here, but they're waiting for their teammates to spawn in so they know exactly what the current spawn system is. At the moment, it does favour Nemo to keep control of this hill, but it's not just about street. They are also going to want to rotate to wood in the next 20 seconds.
That's right, and system, they do have control over wood, but they're going to push through that mid plane, and Desti's kind of playing a ring around the rosy, takes out Perform, and now they're going to collapse onto this hill, solidifying those kills and still solidifying the spawns. So that was definitely a huge play for the system as they are set up for this wood hill, and Fellow going to aggressively push out just a little bit to be a nuisance. Does get tagged up, but in terms of searching around, it looks like his teammates are still fighting on that street side, and overall, he manages to take out Performal, but still now in control. Nemo have to push through the back, and they have the system set up already to worry about, but it's going to come through.
Oh, Zero at the moment, they've got to be careful here. There will be a spawn for Decimate. They are managing to hold this at the moment. And that is going to be the kill feed, all lighting up for them as well. It's only going to be Archives here who can play a foil towards them. Come around the back here, and he actually tries to melee Decimate from 15 feet away. That's not going to work. You do have a gun that works a little bit better at long range, but as you can see here, Fellow's been an absolute problem here in the plane. Eventually will get taken down, but time is burning. The system are getting a bigger and bigger advantage. Decimate now flying into the plane as well. They've given this up close range. They're not even worried about it. Fantastic hold here at Wood. And you can already see they're now starting to think about playing with 19 seconds left to go. It will be Nemo, though, who will hold control. Will they be able to hold it flawlessly?
Indeed, they need that. Still pushing for the scrap time. Zyro, of course, manages to pick that up. But essentially, like you said, Brycey, they're set up in this plane. They know exactly where the system is coming from. Zyro getting tagged up a little bit, stunned. It's taken out by Desi now. His Perform's gonna wait patiently for the push onto the wings, and the collapse is gonna come through. Perform gets a kill down onto Zed. Now gets traded out by Zinx, and again, it's Nemo who still have control over this plane. And the problem for this system here that I see, Brycey, is the fact that they're gonna have to get the spawns for the new hill, and then doing just that, they flanked around. Fellow manages to get one. Now the hill's being contested. Perform on that hill, all the projectiles coming in, but that trophy's eating them all up. Now gets stunned, and again, the blood's gonna come through. Desi manages to take him out. 19 seconds left, but again, it's Nemo who have control over this. And how exactly is the system going to do this one? How are they gonna break? Fellow, he does have streaks, so I'm not sure if he's exactly gonna use them here, but the slow push is gonna come through. And that's 2 down already.
They were trying to get blue control, and they didn't get anything from it as well. Ramby's going to go into the plane and shut that one down, and now this is a nightmare break. You have to continue to push all the way through the open with players sitting in so many points of cover. They're going to try and come through plane. Ramby, though, is going to try and take them on with the team Addy, and it's not going to be good enough. So they will get that one. Perform is now trying to continually fire at him at the same time, and this is why it's so difficult. They just have to fight tooth and nail the entire way to break this, and they cannot manage to get through. Zinx, though, laying down in a crate, trying to get wall bangs here from Zyril. And this is why P2 is one of those money hills. If you don't manage to contest it, you can't get players through blue and try and make a bit of a nuisance of yourself. You're just not going to get into it in the end here. And even with the spawns, end up now going a little bit more in favor of the system. Zed is going to break through with a 2-piece, but only for scrap time.
Yep, that's right. And still, again, I mean, scrap time, 5 seconds. It's still a little bit. It'll still help, but again, Nemo is set up onto the rotation, so it's the system once again fighting. See if they can get set up here. But underneath the plane hill, it's not as bad. Zyril still going off. Gonna do streak, trying to get the impossible demonic kill, but does he again takes him out. I feel like system's still kind of having the opposite side spawns because they do want to essentially have that streak control and get set up eventually for the wood one, but still Nemo Archives just being aggressive, trying to work the flank. It's one onto Fellow, tags up Zinx, and he gets traded out by Zed, and Perform again trying to do the same thing, takes out Zed now, and Desi, you're gonna see him work that straight side, able to get a clean 2-piece, and now this is looking good for the system. Set up and getting control. Then eventually they want to work to flip the spawn to get set up for that wood hill eventually. Now Zed just managing to get away with his life. This is looking pretty good here once again for the system now. Not so scary as we had it is Nemo in control last time around.
Well, I feel like every time I think the system's going to go ahead, Nemo come back into it. Right now, I really don't know who's going to end up winning it, especially on a like checkmate. At times we see massive swings come through, depending on it, but at the moment, it will be Nemo having control of the street. Zinx furiously backpedaling there at the back, trying to get this. Who's going to lose it? And that means a spawn out for the system. They're now in a little bit of trouble. No street control, no control of the next rotation. 27 seconds to try and rectify it. You see a pressure coming through the plane. Ram is already pushing out here at the same time. Hasn't seen anybody with players all around. Decimate will eventually take him down, though. Pressure now coming on the street. Fellow manages to get it, and now they're going to have to figure this one out. How do we break through? Nemo no longer care about street, so they will be setting up.
That's right. As they're set up here, Fellow is going to work that street side, and he's going to have his teammates work plane. So you have Zed in mid plane. Essentially, they can break through if they collapse onto it. Zyril manages to take out Zed, but he gets traded out. So now they're in a good position. They flip the spawns. They collapse onto the hill. Archives, he's left alone. His teammates are a little bit farther away, but he gets a huge kill onto Fellow. And again, fighting this from the front, from the back. Trades once again coming through. Zyril gets a 3-piece. We didn't see it, but that was huge. Again, Nemo still remaining control from the front of the hill. The system's spawning in the back. There's 30 seconds left. They have control over plane. This is an interesting one.
This match coming through as they are all tied up, but it will be the system who have the small advantage here in the spawns. Well, they certainly are winning a lot of these gunfights. Fellow said eventually going through, but they know they're now going to run. They have to try and get into the plane. They know it could be disaster for them. Oh my goodness, Zed is certainly what you would call cracked into this one. Has managed to make his way through. Eventually will be taken down from the wing. Decimate is in here as well, and he knows he has to contest. This may not end here, but it may be very influential. Currently, spawns are up for grabs. Zed, though, has spawned good for his team in P2, but it will be Archives who takes him down. Gets a spawn back now for Nemo. It's all happening on the minimap as carnage happens in the plane.
Now it's still the system able to clear them all out of the plane. Nemo, once again, 35 seconds left on this. They do have control for the new point, but they still need to push for this scrap. Now, Zinx gets taken down. That's one. So now they're essentially going to push forward. They have to. Archives, huge kill on the set. Trades again coming through, but it's the system who come out on top. What it looked like for a second, but that was huge from Rambi and Zyril as they clear out the point. And the problem for the system here is the fact is that yes, they do have control over the money hill, as you said, Bryce, earlier. This is going to be a tough one. They're going to have to flood through that blue side to potentially, to wrap around and flip around the spawn. And if Nemo hold every single second, this is going to be really bad. But the push comes into the front. Zinx, he managed to take out one. Can he get the second onto Perform? answer is no. Rambi pushes in fast, and once again, they clear them out. Nemo still able to fight on with their life, but there's only 2 seconds left here, Bricey.
Well, at the moment, you're going to see the system try and get this contest in. All they're going to do is slide through it or take that player off. And they're going to be trying to do exactly that. Look at the push coming out for it as well. Decimate has to try and stay alive. He's already got 1 kill. He's desperately fighting around the tunnel. Will eventually go down. And now we are off to the races. The system have to get across map. Just touch it. They just have to make sure that this tick does not go through. But they are falling like flies everywhere here onto this one. This could be a 250-248. Kills coming through. Eventually, Decimate does manage to get a few onto it. I don't think it was enough, though. Archive's on a 5 streak. Players have to get through. They have to go into the crate here. Zed is going to have to commit. Fer's going to have to commit. It's still not good enough. I think that tack... No! They managed to do it! Oh, my goodness! The system touched it just in time for the tick. It's a 250-249 finish. And that has got to be gut-wrenching, heartbreaking here for Nemo. They held so well. But the system, they just managed to claw the way back into it. Barely touching the hill time and time again to force that tick over. I have not seen a game finish that close in a long time.
I am mind blown. I don't even know what just happened. Oh my god, that's crazy, Bracey. I mean, and that happened, but that's the second time that's happened with these 2 teams. So evenly matched. It just what looked like you said. This is crazy. This I just don't even know what happened. It looked like they had complete control over the point. Okay, they had all the kills, and then the system. They just flooded in through the side, got the kills in the front, and then I don't even know what happened, Bracey. It just was so fast. It was so crazy.
Wow, that was insane. I'm gonna watch this again, right? Because like the system did a lot of work, by the way, to burn these points all the way through it. And you can see they just have to touch it. They have to try and defer one of those ticks. And as they continue going through, Zed making a big kill at the back here. Managed to get that first player. Now that first player to touch it wasn't actually enough. They've got to do this again here. To the point where I think both players go through the front. Zed, I think, gets one and holds off. I don't think Fellow touches it, but apparently it is enough to stop the tick as the new hardpoint comes through.
No. I didn't even realize that. I was just so like, I mean, I don't know if it was just me, but I was just so entranced like what just was happening. And I was like, oh, the hill popped. So I guess that makes sense. But I mean, what a game we just had on our hands, Bracey. Honestly, this is the second time we've seen this. So this time around, I'm just so amazed with how Zyro was playing, and just all the players on both teams are just so evenly matched. I've never seen a game like it, let alone cast it.
Yeah, don't worry, you weren't the only one who missed the hill pop. Tom was watching in the background. He didn't see the hill pop. I knew that was going to happen. That's what they were trying to burn, just enough time. I didn't know whether or not the tick would hit it or not, but ridiculous there in the end. You got to feel for Nemo. They thought they might have had that game won, but the system just kept flooding it. And here's the thing, right? There is a lot of times when you're in that position, you won't even get to touch it. Like, you can keep going through, but they kept just hitting the front of crate, touching it every so often. I think the big push there, I was trying to remember who it was essentially, but when that hill first went on, when P2 first came up, there was a player holding it down all the way. Ridiculous there. 250-249. We could be ending and saying Nemo into our playoffs, but that has not happened. The system could now potentially reverse sweep. Our next map is going to be Express Search and Destroy. We are ending it here regardless. And either team could win it. But here's a quick recap of how it's gone so far, because I'm sure we need to kind of compose ourselves and bring us back down to reality. We started off with Nemo 250-230 on the Garrison. Then we went over to Raid 6-3 for Nemo, looking pretty good so far into this one. Things changed though when we got to Raid Control. The system looked very much in control, pardon the pun, and dominated that map for the majority. Big plays coming out of some of the players on that squad. And of course the map we just watched. Checkmate Hardpoint came down to a nail-biting finish between these two teams. So we go into map 5 with a potential reverse sweep on the cards and a probably broken Nemo. I don't know how they're going to feel after losing it like that.
Honestly,
They almost made a ridiculous comeback.
I can see the system taking it. I mean, this is Express S&B. This is their playground. I think they're like 3-1, 4-1 on this map statistically this stage. And then you have Nemo who are 0-1. So I think if you're the system, you're feeling really good. You're feeling really fresh right now. Like you said, just from that win, they've got to be feeling great.
They certainly have. And I tell you something, I am also feeling great because we are going to go to a map 5. And here's the thing, right? If you were with us earlier with the European teams, great game 5, both sides. Every game we watched was a freaking nail biter. And we're going to do it again here. This is the great thing. Challengers Elite is full of crazy close games and incredible Call of Duty. It's time to end this one, though. Express, Search, and Destroy. The system versus Nemo. This is for everything. Winner into playoffs. Loser, admittedly, we'll get another try, but we won't think about that for now. Jumping on board with Zyril to kick things off.
Well, like you said, Bryce, either they're really broken or they're really fired up thinking, hey, we should have won that. So the aggressive play comes in at B, and if you notice, the system, no one's here, so they might actually get free plant. Form gets a kill onto Desi now. Even first blood for them, and bomb goes down, Brycey.
Very good start. There you go. That's big jump coming through. Perform will take down Zinx. That's even more advantage now to Nemo. Oh, they're going to try and hunt him down. Finds him. Not going to do anything there. And essentially, Nemo just went, okay, we'll have that first round. Pretty easy from them.
Absolutely. Like I said, they came in with the fire. Came in with the heat. Definitely a good start. Form opening it up with the first blood. Getting into second. And definitely aggressive plays coming in from them. So fired up as they are. Taking that first round. But the system... Curious to see how they're going to answer back on this one. Perform, excuse me, 3 kills that was for him last round. For a second there, I thought Zyril got 2. It's just so used to seeing Zyril. He's such a slayer. But now aggressively this time, it's a system that's going towards that A site.
And last time around, actually, I watched it. Zed on this map had one of the games of his life. Just continue to pick apart the team. And they need him to step it up now if they want to convert this reverse sweep. Moment. Fellow trying to watch over him and put down an awful lot of it. It still doesn't work because he will go down, but Fellow and Decimate finally end up getting 2. Advantage here to the system.
That's right. Test of patience here. A couple shots. Zyril down mid, but Rambi able to get the trade mid map here, but he's still kind of a sticky situation, but the system's evenly spread out. He might be able to hop this bomb, but I don't know. I think it's going to be checked, Fellow. He's in a situation where he could check it. Easy reads, easy kill. Just play the clock, play the time, play your life. Easy win to even it up the odds. So both teams winning the attacking rounds.
So far, all even. I don't know. I think that was a close one there, certainly. I thought the player may have checked a little bit sooner, but clearly didn't want to throw it in shoulder in case the player was running around. And I don't know. The problem with these two teams is coming into this kind of high-stakes scenario, they may just fall back on trying tested strategies between them. And obviously, both of them will have played each other before, but here comes the push. Big play coming through at the beginning. Will be Fellow with the first blood. Archive's going to try and use that bomb for a bit of cover here. Tries to get through, dipping and diving and dodging. And does get out of there, but unfortunately lost a teammate. And now Archives is going to continue maybe to run out. Wonder where he's going. Back and forth.
Yeah.
Just going to try and cut down Rambi here. Finds Rambi. That's an easy kill. Archives is gone, though, in a 1v3. He's actually going to try and flank back to B. Don't know if it's going to work out for him. Fellow is ready and waiting. The system now up 2-1.
Yeah, that was the round they needed right there. But I'm kind of confused a little bit. At first, I thought as soon as Archives grabbed that bomb, I thought him and Rambi were just gonna, wrap through essentially the enemy spawn and maybe wrap around bomb sites. But came back to challenge. It's kind of tough when you have 3 members of the system there locked up. And of course, as we see Fellow 4-1 right now on a 4 streak, very tough to challenge. But once again, last time around, we saw the system attacking A, and it looks like we're going to see it. But maybe we're not. Split to the bomb is actually at the B site, but this could be a distraction. So nades, stuns come out. Desi's gonna rotate back. So I like this play from the system. They distracted Nemo, made them think they're at A, and now the bomb is gonna go down at B.
Well, now they've managed to get it. This is the big retake. Usually in this scenario, you need to have a bit more map control than Nemo currently do, because it's going to have to push it from one side. It will be Rambi who tries to get a bit of a flank on, but he is away with 30 seconds left to go. Things trying to get performed. And you can see them now trying to push this the hard way already, though. Archives managed to get one kill. Coming through this at the same time in a good position in Ticket Booth, but he has to push out. Because Decimate has managed to hit a bit of a flank here, and this could be chaos. They come through, though. It will be Zed now in a 1 versus 2, and Zed is going to go down. They have managed to close this one out. Nemo, against all odds, close in and cut the system to ribbons.
Yeah, what a retake, too. Even with Perform having a team kill there, it was still able to retake. That's tough. That's tough.
I thought when Decimate got that flank, genuinely, I thought it was over. Like, as soon as I saw him hit that flank, I was like, well, they've been pinched down. There's no way they're going to win all these gunfights. But Archives somehow takes down Decimate and allows them to fight on one direction.
Yeah, I agree. It's always scary when Decimate gets up in the mix. But, my gosh, I just can't believe how close this game is, Pricey. Now 2-2. Once again, we're going to see a B push, but both teams are pushing aggressively. This is going to be a full-out bloodbath. Now Archives pre-firing through the walls, but it's Fellow and Zinx managed to get to 2-piece. Archive still alive. Gonna try to answer back with his teammates. Oh, he gets the 2-piece back. He gets the third. No, it's Cyril that gets the trade. And oh my god, that was the Zinx. And excuse me, not the Zinx. That was the Zyril. Another Z. A Zyril. And Archive shows Brady. That was insane.
2 versus 4. 2 versus 4. They got the 2 first kills into this one, and then somehow threw it away. Not able to get any more trades. I don't know. I really don't know. You got to feel for the system there. Somehow they ended up losing a round. They should have 100% won. And a lot of that was due to Archives and Zyril just gunning everything in sight here. And can they redeem themselves, though? The system will be on the attack this time, looking towards A already. Flashes going out as they go for this big push here. But there are a lot of players of Nemo here at the moment. Fella's going to go up top, instantly get shut down. Rambi gonna try it as well. So Zed, sorry. Zed tries to go up top, and Rambi just continues to shut them down. And the system are now in a very, very bad way. Decimate's all... Well, he's dead.
Oh, my God.
He's
Decimate, he's dead. Yep. I feel like that was kind of the same round as last time. Oh, my goodness. Huge kills there from Rambi. It's once again, same thing. I thought he was going to get that third. I gasped. I didn't mean to. I was just wow. Both Archives and Zyril on a 3 streak. Rambi on a 2. They're heating up. 4-2 now. This is very, very scary. But now once again on the aggressive side, instead of going down low, they're gonna have that pre-fire from Rambi, kind of split the push, and then they're gonna flood through Ticket. Now it's gonna come through. 2 members of the system there. Archives able to take down Zed. It's traded by Desi. So now in a 3 versus 3, evening up the odds. Zyril, what can he do? As Perform, he's gonna slowly inch his way towards the bomb site and work the plant.
This is bad for Zinx. He hasn't got anyone here to trade with him or cut down the angles. Somehow finds Perform, but Double Nate coming in. Has to eventually get out to it. But now it's a 1 versus 2, and it's done. Decimate will get that last kill. And it does mean that they have managed to get a point back onto the board here, but they're going to be feeling gutted about what this could have been.
Yeah. Really, that was crazy shots. Crazy shots from Fellow. But curious to see how they're going to answer this one.
Wow, the system this time. A hasn't really worked for them, and doesn't look like it's going to be a B push. Oh, Rambi gets absolutely ripped apart. Fellow commits the shot, eventually takes it down. Zed, though, gonna go through Ticket, finds one, finds a second player as well, and he needed that to redeem himself. Was 1-6 before this, but they have brought it back to 4-4.
And really, we just saw the same manner of what Nemo did one of the rounds too. Just aggressive B hits. If A is not working, hey, lights out. You know what? We got nothing to lose. Let's just go ahead full force. And I just, wow. It was 4-2 just a second ago. What's happening? Now that this time around, I guess they forgot the bomb.
Well, so far. Yeah.
I don't know. That was the plan. Might see a little bit of change up here.
At the moment, I don't think the system know exactly that anyone's here. They're being careful. Gonna come through. Good find for Form to begin with. Staying alive, finds Archive, but unfortunately that will be a hip fire. He does go down, and it's now 3 versus 3. Rambi wins against 6. Archives take down Decimate, and the system fall apart. Fellow now in a 1 versus 3. Do they even know he's here? I don't know. They're trying to find him. Surely not. Surely not. And they are going to find many, many shots onto him now, but he's going to eventually go down, outgunned and outnumbered. Nemo now 5-4 up in it, and after that first blood, it all went disastrous for the system.
That's right. It's usually always that first blood, right? That opening pick that can just really set the tone, set the pace for the map. And I mean, sometimes you can play it either two ways. Be aggressive, play for that pick, or play sneaky, play for picks and just sit back in your base. But so far from both of these teams, we have been seeing aggression coming out of both of them. So curious. Once again, I think we may see that level of aggression, but this time it's split. 2B2A. Bomb looking like it's going to rotate through that ticket, and Rambi anticipating, or excuse me, Rambi anticipating, but it was Archives able to get that kill. And now left. It's System. This is tough. Zed's down. System.
Oh, the shin bone has been cut off of Zed.
So
It's now a
fast.
2 versus 4. It's all falling on Zinx and Fellow to try and hold it off, and it's now all falling on Zinx. It's a 1 versus 4. That bomb isn't even down either. He can't play around it. Finds Rambi. Unfortunately, there are players all over this, and down he goes. And Nemo will win this 3-2, 6-4 in the S&D in the end. But they will be our team. We elevate to the playoffs. The system will have another chance, but what a game, Eitan.
Yeah, that hard point. We haven't seen one end that close. I actually thought that they jumped off it. It was like that close. I think it was the blink in between the two hills. It changed from orange, the side of Nemo, obviously, into black. And I was like, did they jump off it? I didn't know what was going on. It was just absolutely mental. But what a game. I mean, so many times we're coming into round 10, 11 at map number 5 in every Challengers game in Europe, North America. It doesn't really matter. It's just every game is super, super close when it comes to this time of the season. And I'm here for it. It's kept me wide awake, Brycey. I'm doing well.
Well, from doing well to not doing so well, here is our lower bracket and how it's all working out so far in our knockout series. Of course, we have in the System LA Academy, UT Crew, and Nemo. Nemo actually ended up going through here. The system will drop down to play the winner of LAG Academy and UT Crew. I believe, also I have been told, that I think LAG Academy won it 3-1, so they should be our team moving forward to face the system in our final elimination match in elimination round 2. The winner of which will, of course, go up into our playoffs to face the other big 3 Titan teams that have made it there. The loser will be taken out not only the knockout bracket, but of Challengers Elite in total, which sounds really harsh now I think of it, but it's still a big game to go, Ellen, and I'm sure both teams really want this.
Well, absolutely. Like you said, there's a lot on the line. Not only are you securing a spot for stage 5, you are getting a pretty good chunk of money. So with a lot on the line, and you really don't want to go through the pit of qualifying again, yes, there's a lot of pressure here, and you're going to see both teams essentially step up. There's really nothing more to say about it. Turn up. Turn up, Gracie. It's just, like Tun said, it's just crazy. Every single game today has just, these have been by far the most exciting matches that I've seen. By far. I'm still mind blown from that last hard point. I'm still am.
Yeah, it gets better every time we end up watching one of these. Ton, what do you make of that game and the game we've got to come?
Honestly, look, we seen LAG actually go on to lose against the system earlier on this evening, so that was 3-1. The system will be going into that one and saying, okay, yes, we just lost that very close series. We nearly completed the reverse sweep, but the confidence will be there heading into this next series. I think they should still get it done, but that was a crazy close game. It's going to be interesting to see how these teams do tomorrow, though, against the big boys, who, in a surprising Elite Challenger season, I should say, in North America, considering the two teams we thought would be the top two teams just didn't even exist really at this point this season, did they? So it has been an interesting viewing, but we may have somebody come out the woodwork that we're not expecting to go on and win it. So yeah, it's been super interesting, and I'm looking forward to see who's going to be the fourth team. I'm put my money on the system if I was putting it in.
Well, I'll tell you something, you can put your money in your wallet for now, because we will find out right after this break. Don't go anywhere when we come back, of course. Our very final game for the North American region for today. The System versus LAG Academy. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Call of Duty Challengers Elite. And I know what you're thinking. We've come back early. That's because we are ready to get into our next game. And we're not going to wait around. We're not sitting there back and relaxing. We're ready for gameplay. Of course, my name is Bryce, joining me here to bring you all the action for this one, Tun and Ellen. All right, well, the game we are going to throw down with should be a good one. Tun, I believe before we went to break, you had a bit of a prediction for this one, the system versus LAG. How do you think it is going to end?
I mean, it's not that big brain, to be fair. They played each other beforehand. The system won, so I think the system will probably win again. I mean, it's not like that deep.
You say,
look,
say that, but like
well,
we had the
yeah,
system beat Nemo last time, but lost this time around, so...
Very true. I mean, look, on the day, look, they've already beat them just a couple hours ago. The system will be feeling confident. A 3-1 win as well. I'm curious to what the maps were. Obviously, we didn't get to see it on stream, so if they are relatively similar, then, you know, maybe something could change up. But I don't know. Bryce, I don't know.
All right, well... One way to find out. This game is ready. We're going straight into it. Raid Hardpoint, the system versus LAG Academy. Casters for this one, Ellen and Tun.
Ellen, what a way to close out the night. We've got Raid Hardpoint to kick things off between the system and LAG Academy. Two very well-versed teams. And as mentioned, these two have played each other already today. The system taking that one 3-1. Will that have much bearing on this? I'm just having a look through what the maps were originally. So it was actually the system to take Raid Hardpoint, which came up first. We then went to Moscow Search and Destroy, then Raid Control. So I believe we got the first 3 maps the exact same. We'll have a look through what the maps are once again after this one, but the maps don't look too different, Ellen, going into this one, which has got to be a worry for LAG Academy.
That's right, and I was looking at the stats. You know, of course, I'm not the best at this, but looking at it, LAG Academy haven't really won raid, so the system we already know is strong on this map. So good start for LAG Academy, but again, I am also too looking to see the system square away with this one because they are just so comfortable on raid. But either way, so overall, LAG Academy, I was going to say that what looked like they had control, the system already broke that comfortability setting, and now as they have a lead change happen here, and Desi already being aggressive, of course, pushing out that mid-map area. And the problem here for LAG Academy is, do you push for this scrap time or do you rotate? Well, they have 2 pushing through money here. Fellow has to stop that push through the front as well. Trades do come through, and LAG Academy committed. They committed, but they do not get the time. So I'm not sure exactly if they're satisfied with that, but either which way, they have the rotations here on that pool side. And again, Fellow already set up. Huge kill comes in from Zed, and there you have it. What looked like it could have been controlled for the LAG Academy. The system already wiped them out clean, and now they have the hold for this garage point here, Tun.
Yeah, that's far too easy. You can't let that happen if you're LAG Academy. Just breezing on through the system. And something to touch on is the collapse is about to start coming in once again. They're playing the exact same maps that we've seen in the first series that these two played against each other previously. Which, to me, as the system continue to look very good here on Raid, makes no sense if you're LAG Academy. You lose 3-1 in the first game of the day against the system. So you played the same maps? The exact same maps in the exact same order? I don't know. To me, that was an opportunity to maybe change things up if things didn't go so well this morning. Looking at the scores on some of them as well, I mean, the ones that were won, very close control, but the hard points pretty one-sided for the system, and it's, well, looking like it's going in that direction once again. Thanks towards the back laundry here, just trying to get a break over towards the basketball side. And so he's probably going to be set up from a couple of different angles here. Kitchen control, of course, important. Let's try to get rid of that now. Actually, does find the kill. Zink's just waiting for his team to get in the spot to help him out. Decimate pushes on through. How has he broke through this easily? How has that happened?
I actually watched it. He hopped up through money. He ran through back kitchen, and he snuck by. He just ran right through, and then Fellow gets the 2-piece opening break. Now, LAG Academy trapped in that back laundry area, and they have complete control. Fellow, Zinks, essentially 27 seconds left. I mean, they're just free fire. They're just pre-aiming this. This is all they just need to sit here and pretty. But they do have that rotation to worry about, of course. But still, that you just can't let that happen. Decimate was easily able to sneak by like 3 players. Very, very key play for them to turn that around and get those initial time.
Well, the fellow was having a grand old time of things here at 12-4. What a game out of him. There's one. Is he going to find the second with that one? He doesn't need to. Desi has already cleaned it up. It is 110 points. The lead here for the system. Who, I mean, they won this first map fairly convincingly in the very first series. It was by, what, about 75 points or so. They are well and truly galloping ahead of that at this moment in time. Still artillery available for Fellow. This middle hard point is still ticking in time for the system. Zinx just continuing. Nero is 2-11. He cannot find anything right now. You see trying to break on through here. Really, it's just been about the transitions to hills. LAG Academy have out-rotated them 2 or 3 times. If they get the hill when we went over towards Garage, if they get the rotation over towards Basketball, they did that. They did not hold it for any more than 10 seconds on both sides. I don't think they got anything at Garage. Maybe those 2 hills make it look a little bit different, but as we head in towards the second rotation, the system are nearly touching 200 points.
Yeah, it's just complete dominance right now, and I just wanted to point out, Fellow was he was on a 10 streak before he got taken down there a ton. So it's just, you play them on their maps that they just played, of course they're going to come out swinging. So LAG Academy, they do have this time. But again, it's just the slaying power of Zed. It manages to get that easy 2-piece. And once again, LAG Academy, they're going to look at this. And this is what Mox is thinking. Okay, I have to flip the spawn. There's 30 seconds left. We're down by a lot. We need to hold and play perfect hard point here. I'm going to rotate around. So Mox gets that kill on the Desi in the back. This could be a good situation, but he still has Zed that he needs to clear out. So he didn't stay in the back, and Zed might catch him that caught timing. Takes him out. So now, once again, like you said, Ton, it seems like they have potentially what it looks like control over the new spawns. You lose them just like that. So now, the system essentially just wiped them out yet again. And now LAG Academy have to fight through front and have to find a way to break.
Yeah, not looking good for them so far. Zed finds another kill. That's 6 in a row. And just keep an eye on the scoreboards at the top of your screen. It's looking vastly different across the board. Has to be said, Nero is not necessarily helping the team out too much here. Not really having a good time with things, unfortunately, for him. Not too sure if he's having any issues, but it's not great. System, on the other hand, looking fantastic. Yes, okay, that break is going to come through. And maybe this is the start of something for LAG Academy, but Zed with streaks. Fellow already using his as well. I think if you're the system here, you maybe just choke this one up and just sort of say to yourself, we only need 20 points, we could set up on Garage. I think that's why Zed is lingering. I wouldn't mind that to be a little bit less. Decimate going to try and cut off mid-map, but LAG Academy get the first good chunk of points they really have had a hold of. Let's see if Nero can get himself off this 6-18 right now. Pushing around the outside. Looking to try and find some fix. Desi, though, just lingering in a corner. It's so smartly done. He knows they're going to transition from there. And basically, I think Nero may be the only one that's close enough. Streaks come through. Raining hell from the skies. Once again, the system, and I mean this politely, smoke LAG Academy on Raid Hardpoint. That is 1-0. A fantastic start for them.
Well, I mean, we said it here first. The system, we know they are strong on Raid, and I don't know how that map picking process worked out, but
yeah.
Either way,
look, you have to clear it. You have to, because it just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, look, the previous series, all right, the control was super close. Let me just get it up there again, sorry. The control was super close. LAG Academy went on to actually win the Search and Destroy, so okay, keep Moscow Search and Destroy in, keep Raid Control in, that's cool. But you're going in, you've got the same 2 hardpoint maps that you just lost already. I don't know. I just feel like there's an opportunity. Am I reading into it too much? I don't think so. That was really convincing from the system. Maybe they just look like the better hardpoint team, and that could just be the sort of top and bottom of it. But, we'll head on to map number 2. We're going to be heading over towards Moscow Search and Destroy, but the LAG Academy are going to need to show a significant amount more than what we just seen there in that hardpoint, because the system dominated on the kill feed. They dominated in terms of transitions over towards these hills. They mostly out-rotated them. And when they didn't get out-rotated, they just punched it a hole through very simply every single time. I think the moment where Desi got through back basketball all on his own. Yes, okay, it was good timing, but that was kind of like where the cogs are turning to sort of say, right, is anything going to go right here for LAG? And nothing went right, supposedly.
Yeah, where did that hole come from? Because excuse me, it wasn't. It was the cutout. It wasn't money. He hopped up. As you were speaking, I was actually watching the mini map. He hopped up through the cutout and then he snuck through. Then he went down the basketball stairs and able to get that pick. So I'm not sure where that hole was exactly, but yeah, if you're LAG Academy, that's gotta hurt a little bit because there was a few times where they did have the initial rotation. I mean, they started off not too bad. They started off pretty decent, and just not able to hold it. So I don't know. Is that a communication thing? Is that a team thing? I don't know. So going into this, they have to tighten that up a little bit.
Yeah, they do. Going over towards Moscow Search and Destroy next, though, and this is where LAG did have some luck previously, so they'll be looking to replicate that when we do load in. Search and Destroy being their wheelhouse. And I suppose, you know, if you're LAG Academy in this scenario, you say to yourself, right, okay, we're a better Search and Destroy team. Let's get this Moscow out the way. We then go to a raid control and, you know, let's see how we do. It was 3-2 last time. If they take that, it's a very different story, as we will inevitably end up heading over towards Express. So, look, there's still a chance for them in here. I just feel as if they could have maybe given themselves maybe a better chance had some of the different maps been taken. It's never a case of counting anybody out here in the Elite Challengers because we know how good these teams are. Just look at the pedigree of the guys on this team. Mox, a former fantastic, not a former fantastic player, but a former player who was at the highest level in Call of Duty competitive side of things. Mental, obviously coming from a different game, but still adapting to the game. Very, very talented gamer overall. They have the talent on this roster. Let's see if they can turn into something in the rest of this series. As I said, Moscow Search and Destroy are going to be coming up in a second. We'll be loading in just a moment, but raid control is going to be a big important one as well. But this one is a must win for LAG Academy here. And if they don't win this one, the series is done for me.
I would say the same. The system, I just coming off that last game, I just feel like they're just so hot right now.
Yeah, they're feeling it.
Yeah, they're definitely feeling it. And for me, like I said, it's just kind of a mental game. So, you know, when you have that momentum and that fire just going into this game, and I mean, obviously, even just from that first map, it's just LAG Academy really have to step up. They have to just shake it off.
Yeah,
not like it happen. But
look,
yeah.
I said, like, things like host and stuff can come into it. Maybe it just wasn't working out for them in that scenario. Like I never believed that some players would be going so negative in the scenario that we've seen just previously there. That was not good for Nero, has to be said.
I agree.
Really did have a poor game. Let's see if we can step it up here though as we head over towards Moscow. And Search and Destroy is the mode, of course. Gonna be an attacking round for LAG to kick things off. They hit likely to come in. The system getting aggressive on this one. This is maybe something where the system can sort of look at it, and that 6-3 loss. Yes, okay, in Search and Destroy, I feel like you can correct your mistakes maybe a little bit more, sort of read into what LAG Academy are going to try and throw at you. Initially, it will be followed to fall first. It's a 4v3 in favor of LAG.
But now Desi and Zed are rotating over to that B bomb site, anticipating. So Exceed gets spotted. He gets tagged up, but not taken down. Mox now on the flank, fighting on the street side. Just kind of holding it down. The slow push is going to come through now. Both teams just patiently waiting, and Exceed pushes the window, takes down Zed, and Desi just peeking that doorway. And again, the Mox is on the street side. Desi, it's just an all-out bloodbath, but LAG Academy able to take it away. And I mean, getting that opening pick definitely made it much easier.
Yeah, I mean, it's always easier when you got the number advantage. First blood and Search and Destroy. How important over the years have we talked about Desi not able to get much further than Exceed. 1-0 now to LAG. It's the start they would have needed after that kind of hard point map not going their way. Of course, it's one that bruises you. It's round number 2 though. Time for system. Get an attack of their own under their belts. Looking potentially like a B hit here, and while this is going to be a big gunfight, Exceed is going to peek around. Yes, he will find Zinx. Can he find anything else? Surely not. Kill comes through, and Desi will trade that one out. That's a bait and switch, though.
Rotation.
Yep. Baited the kill cam just a little bit there. I think that was the plan. Problem is here, they need to get rid of Nero. He's in an awkward spot. He should get caught. There you go. He's just trying to distract. Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that from Zed. He's sitting there shooting, shouldering, knowing his teammates on the way, and Fellow's ready for the transition. Morks is there to trade it, but Morks will be traded himself. The system. A nice clean round out of them as well. One apiece.
Yeah, I liked that from them. Get the first opening pick over it to B, and instead of just pushing right on through, you rotate over to A. So I definitely like the gameplay there coming from the system, and I mean, trapped up and choked up in the spawn, Mox and Mental. I mean, what can you do when you have Desi and Zed playing so perfectly, playing for those trading and baiting positions? And yeah, Nero being last alive there, it's tough. It's tough. Even being on the best head glitch on the game, it's tough when you have a man advantage. But now on the attacking side, last time around, we saw a B push coming out from LAG Academy. So this time we're going to see mid split. Might potentially see that wrap over to A, and it looks like we are going to see that. Zed's there, they have to worry about, and the trade comes in from Nero. Good spot to be in, but now it's Zinx. Just force it up.
Oh, that's big.
That was huge.
Fellow finds the kill and gets a win, and Desi behind. Oh, they just get the read on them immediately. And I think it's Fellow finding that first kill, and then it just puts him in such a bad spot because he gets away. And then Mendel can do very, very little about that. The stars are aligned for Decimate, and well, he does just that. 2-1 to the system now. 5 in a row. Decimate. A couple of more kills, and we're going to be talking about streaks.
Hey, speak of 5 in a row, he's on a 5. It's just crazy. Always you see Desi popping off. But now it looks like LAG Academy completely gave up B, but they still have Exceed who's holding mid, so kind of a whole team's here playing for picks, but looks like LAG Academy is favoring that A bomb site more. So if the system can maybe sneak over to B, or not sure exactly what they're doing. It might just be a tactic to confuse the enemy team, but Fellow, huge kill onto Mental. That was huge. Once again with that opening pick. Now they're going to make the wrap to B. Zed,
oh my god, that cannot
Exceed.
happen.
That was huge again. Now you can work that bomb plant.
There you go. Bomb's going to be going down. That's 2 big gunfights going to be won by the system. And now it's Mox and Nero with the retake and the 2v4. Desi wins the first one. So difficult. Just looks like they're shooting absolute cannons the whole of the system. Mox now in a 1 versus 4, make it a 1 versus 3. Things could potentially get interesting, but he's just going to get baited out. The system are really feeling it. The foot is down on the accelerator pedal, and they are flying through this game.
I mean,
yeah.
well, yeah.
Cannons, that's what I'm saying. Absolute cannons.
Desi still hasn't. He's on a 7 streak now, so able to get that streak. That artillery is going to be not a bad feat to have.
Oh yeah, definitely going to help him out. Information purposes more than anything. And well, the air hit's going to come in, and that will play it perfectly into the system's hands, of course, with that streak available. It's a big hit. Expect that streak to come in very, very shortly. Stick going to come through, so at least going to be traded. Surprising me that artillery is not going to be called in, but that's a big win from Fellow. Desi going to fall without calling anything. Now Fellow in a really bad spot. LAG Academy get the win. I don't think the streak was called in there. As far as I'm aware, seeing it still on his bottom right.
No, I think he saved it.
Yeah, I think he did. I think just when I seen that many people there, I would have just presumed that Desi would have potentially just called it in to save a bit of time to help them get over. But nonetheless, LAG Academy will get a round under their belts. 3-2 now. Yeah.
Save it for a rainy day. Essentially, I think they're just playing so confidently, they probably just figured, you know what? They're going to be run all inside A anyway. They just save it. But now it's going to be an all-out bloodbath at A. Zed pushing aggressively, gets a nade onto Nero. And then Zinx able to take down Mental. So now opening it up, the A bomb site. Zed can hop on and get a free plant. But again, they still have Exceed. And Mox to worry about on the pinch here.
Exceed's not in too bad of a spot, but Mox just trying his best to stay alive. He's done really well so far. He will peel him off, though. Good shots from Fellow. Will they expect Exceed to be 30 seconds remaining? Has time to work with. They've got a good idea of where he's coming from, though, I think. Yeah, the call-out's going to come through. Zinx will find the kill on his own system. 4-2 up now.
Yeah, and the aggression from this team, too. They're just playing so tight-knit. Would like to see. I'm definitely going to see the scoreboard, the stat board after this, and just see it. Like, I mean, I just feel like they're always getting the first bloods too.
It's super hard, isn't it? LAG just they seem to have just come into the series super flat.
Yeah. Almost. Patience. They're just. Actually just looking for a pick. As you guys know, of course, opening pick is important, but Exceed, I'm curious to see if he's going to push to the mid here, and he manages to take down Desi, so there you go. They have an opening pick. Now, which bomb site are going to work? And, of course, favoring that B site there. Going to push forward, but they still have Fellow to worry about. And Mental shots in over at A. He's locking that down, so this actually might work for a rotation, and it looks like it's happening. And they get the bomb down there with Zinx, and it looks like it may just happen. Mental is there to follow up.
Yeah, it's a 1v3 now for Zinx.
1v3.
Yeah, not ideal. LAG Academy get another one under their belts, though. 4-3. Nice and easy. Find the pick and then just kind of work the numbers from there. Everyone plays that one nicely, and that will be the round, as mentioned, 4-3. Desi's definitely slowed down. Couple of rounds without a kill. Still has that artillery available, though, so potentially something to work with there. As far as I'm aware, I don't think he's pinged it either. Well, at least we haven't seen it. Looking like a B hit going to come out of the system, though. I said we really did feel as if this is a must-win for LAG.
Yeah.
4-3 down here, but a slow start to this round here, Ellen.
Yep. And I think the streak's coming in now, but...
Oh, look at this. He's called the streaks in. And they're all at B.
Hey. Yeah.
The bait with the streak. Yep, and here comes the transition.
Bomb's going down. So now, this is... Oh, man, that was just so smart. So now, it's going to be tough, but they've done it before. Fellow now pushing through the middle here. He's going to get timing, but Exceed pushing down Zed.
Oh, wow.
And Fellow, I mean, just like that. That was fast. 3 already down, 4 down for LAG Academy, and that was huge. That was huge. And yeah, that was massive, especially considering the fact that the streak was used. Right? No kills, no streak. All right, that was it. Nothing connected. And even so, of having the bomb down, using that streak, free plant, not able to hold. So that's tough if you're the system, but that's definitely a must win if you are LAG Academy.
What I really liked was actually there was a very late transition over, because I feel as if, I'm not 100% sure who it was, but one of the players on the side of LAG definitely felt as if a flank was going to come through A, back in around, and he just took his time just in case that did come on through, and it was Fellow who actually ran through the mid-map. Ultimately didn't really catch anyone. 4-4 now. All of a sudden, systems wind beneath their sails is really starting to slow down that a little bit. LAG clawing their way back into this one.
And then as you say that, Fellow gets the first pick on to Nero. So that's tough if you're LAG Academy, if considering the bomb is down and Mental alone by that bomb site. But Exceed might get timing onto Desi, evening up the odds. That's looking a little better.
Over towards the B side we go for LAG. Oh, Fellow, he's going to get bad timing. Hasn't seen anybody. Mork should trade that. Surely somebody trades it out. Yes, they do. 3 men from LAG now heading over towards the B-bomb side. It's much better from them. Bomb will go down. It's a 2v3 retake. Zed's going to try and get in through the doors. So is Exceed, though. He's ready and waiting. 5-4 LAG. It's 3 rounds in a row.
Yep. Definitely. That was looking scary in the beginning, but Exceed, what a huge play. Just going through that mid-map and able to flank around and get that kill, pick off the Desi, and it's looking like it might be an LAG win, but I mean, Exceed, look at him. I mean, he's 9-6 on a 4 streak. Mox is on a 3 streak. Mental's on a 2. What can they do here? But the first fast flood's coming in from the system now. They have 3 players of LAG Academy to worry about, so push comes through. Zinx, opening pick. Mental, not able to connect on the Desi. There you go. Nero with a huge 2-piece. Gonna get the third. No. Zed shuts him down. Fast rounds in, but now Exceed left alive in 1 versus 2. It's away.
Didn't hold his shots. Now 2 players on escalators. It's a hard push to go back to. Giving his position away, though, so that's going to allow Zed to plant this bomb and potentially force a round number 11 here. It's a difficult 1v2. It's a difficult gunfight even on Desi, although say that. Deals with him very, very quickly. I wonder if he's going to bait this. Nope. All the way around. Exceed now. Just looking around. 21 seconds remaining. Zed playing this one very, very patiently. He's probably not going to check anything. Did he see him though?
Smart.
I think he might have. And I don't think Exceed's going to have the time. Unfortunately not. That
Smart.
will be the round. And that will force the round number 11.
Smart from Zed. I love when I see players play like that. You know, you don't need to play for the kill. Play the time. And Zed, that was so huge from him. Just laying down there and, oh gosh, I don't know. I wonder, do you think he saw him? I wonder if he did. Just knowing that he saw him wrap around and thinking, okay, there's still some time left on the bomb. I'm not going to make myself present and just wait and just let that clock run. And it was smart. Smart plays. So now 5-5 ton. I mean, what is this? We've seen this all day today. It's going to be all a bloodbath at A, and the push comes through.
Very aggressive defense coming in from LAG Academy here. Mendel should be dead. Right, that grenade's going to save him. Nope. Plenty of utility coming out. Fellow going to find one. Zinx Zed all combining all of a sudden. LAG's hopes of a search and destroy and hopes of a map have been, well, decimated. Fantastic play from the system. They find the picks. A flurry of kills. Exceed now 1v3. What can you do? Gotta do it to keep his team in a good spot in this series. Gonna check the corner. No, he is not. The system find 2 in a row. The rounds in the search and destroy and the maps in this series. They're in a fantastic spot to be heading towards the playoff tomorrow evening. What a performance on that search and destroy to bring that one back. It was just a fantastic start as well, wasn't it? Get the lights on in here. It's just a fantastic performance once again. We're very, very close. LAG losing in that fashion for me, that's a big sting. That's a really big sting. If the 100-point club on the hard point, losing that so closely in the search and destroy, where are their heads at mentally here? It can't be somewhere great.
Either they're somewhere great or they're completely lit up. But yeah, it was still a nice attempt. You know, they're not completely faltering, even though the system, you know, essentially had a really good start. And Tessie, I mean, just frying the whole entire time. They really stepped it up. So there's still some life, I feel like, in this team, in this LAG Academy squad. And I mean, it's not like we haven't seen it before. We have, you know, a reverse sweep. But I just, with how well the system has been playing both series, it's just, I mean, look at that. Even from Zed, just all around god tier plays from all players. They're not letting up.
Yeah, absolutely not. And obviously we will get things changed around on the host side of things, and we will be jumping into map number 3, which will be Raid Control. As mentioned, this was very, very close last time as well. Is it going to come down to that round of search and destroy, though, if you're on the side of LAG, as we head over towards Raid Control in just a moment? If we do need it, Moscow Hardpoint will be our 4th map. Express search and destroy if it does go that far. How far does it go though, Ellen? Is this done here, do you think? I feel like they very well potentially could be.
I feel like it is. I mean, the system already winning the first 2 maps, and apparently the last time we've seen this, I mean, they won the control on last time. So 3-2. So yeah, I think it may end here, but of course my words might just go completely out the window.
Yeah, look, it's a raid control. It is one of the more favored control maps, of course. It's not necessarily standard that defenses always win. There is potential for the attacking team to get a hold of a round. So let's see how it does break down. Players are loading in the lobby, and we may be heading into our last map of the evening in just a second. It's been a good night. I mean, this is the first time, by the looks of things anyway, this very well could still go to a map number 5 round 11 with how things have been going this evening. But that's where that's my point, in that it's been super close all the way through. We're just saying in the chat that we've got there, I think we've only had one search and destroy not go to round 11 for the most part.
Yeah.
Here and there, of course, in Europe, there was maybe some stronger ones that we did see early on, but a lot of the search and destroys have went the distance this evening. A lot of the series have went the distance. Every single one we've had on broadcast has went 3-2. I am not 100% sure that this one goes that way. I think I'm kind of agreeing with you on this one. I think Raid might get it done here for the side of the system, who were unlucky not to win it in their previous game against Nemo. They looked really good there, but the system already beat LAG 3-1 today. They get it done in the search and destroy, which didn't go their way in the previous series. Now we're heading into the map number 3. They've got to be feeling confident.
Absolutely. And I was just thinking about the vetoes and how the system played them. I know when this LAG Academy squad, their favorite map seemed to be Apocalypse, because they've played it quite often and they always win on it. So I was just thinking about the veto system too. If, like, essentially, of course, both teams are trying to manipulate and maneuver it to where they play their best maps. But I mean, system's having a field day, because we already know once again that they're fantastic when it comes to raids. So yeah, I'm agreeing with you 100%. I think they're gonna take this, but we will see. As anything is possible. We've seen a reverse sweep, but good luck. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. Would you say cannon? What did you say they were shooting earlier? Cannons, was it, or was it rockets?
Cannons.
I usually say rockets, so I didn't know if you said cannons or rockets.
Cannon, I suppose it's a British thing, isn't it? I suppose. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, nonetheless, LAG Academy with a much better start here. Really good opening picks. Allows them to get themselves a little bit further forward. And I feel like they need a good defensive hold here. They need something to rally the troops, really, don't they? And, well, I mean, Exceed doing that helps momentarily. Exceed and Mox 3-0, both players. It's a very, very good start to the defensive side for LAG.
Absolutely, and this is exactly what they need. Bring the momentum back, but as we say that, fellow, nice opening 2-piece there, so they can slide right in on into A, but Exceed in that art side, they have to worry about him, and then they also have to worry about Nero coming through that pillar side, but the kills come in. Able to clear out that A point, and Mental just locking it down, just work for that depletion, but now they're gonna have to rotate over that pool side because the system already pushed up and set up onto that point. And as I say that, Exceed takes down Fellow, now in a better position to retake. And there you have it.
Fantastic.
They did it. Perfect
Fantastic
retake.
from LAG. I mean, they've just been holding their angles. Not sure what happened with Nero there on the Fellow, but just get traded by Exceed and just the ARs. It's been far too strong for the system to get through. Apparently Zed got kicked out of the lobby, making weird noises at the beginning of the round. Well, Zed hasn't got a kill yet. Party over the system must be feeling good. They are going to get a hold of A by the looks of things here, though. And if I'm LAG, I don't give them too much yet. They're going to retake anyway. That's going to be the round, and that is as clean as you could possibly want if you're LAG and you're wanting to force yourself back into this game. That's the best start possible. You win your defense, but you win it comfortably.
Yeah, yeah. they kept the aggression up, and like you said, those ARs were just completely dominating. I mean, the cannons are coming back. Cannons now.
Cannons, the rockets, yeah.
Yeah, the cannons, they transferred over to a Mox and Exceed. Just completely tearing them down. But that is what you need if you're at LAG Academy, with, again, being down 0-2 in the series. Back against the wall, you need to solidify this win here. On the attacking side, this time, instead of seeing an A push, you know, obviously if they manage to capture B is the more favored, harder point to capture. And looking so far so good as 2 go down for the system, and now able to slide onto that point. Can they hold here? They're going to have 2 players to worry about pushing that pool stairs here, Ton.
It's a much better start for them than what we've seen out of the system. Good challenge. Corner comes through as well from Fellow. Nicely done by the system. That was looking inevitably like B was going to go over towards LAG Academy, but they forced them out. Get that break to push them back. Oh, Desi, very, very weak. This push going to still come in towards B, though. Arrows are well aware of what Fellow was trying to do. Zinx also aware of Exceed. Clear them out again, but it's been very close gunfights. It's come down to the wire every single time. Lives remaining very, very close. The transition over towards A comes through. LAG Academy already with a much, much better start to their attacking round than what we've seen out of the system. They really want to extend this series. It really wasn't looking likely after the first 2 maps, but my goodness, they really are in this.
Yep, able to capture A and get more time onto that point, but once again, B is the more harder one, but it's definitely a lot easier when you only have a tick to worry about. So in a very good position, I feel like LAG Academy set up essentially in the back. Only thing they really need to worry about is now the 2 players on point and that person in pool, which is Fellow. So Zed able to take down Mox. The trades come in, and I mean, 1 trade came in from Mental, but that was it, the clean sweep. Now they're going to have to fight through the front of LAG Academy. Only a minute 12 left on the clock. This is going to be a tough one here.
It is, but the thing is for LAG, they just need that 1 tick. 1 decent wipe, 3 players gone would probably be enough. See, they are going to mix it up now and hit through mid via pillars. And they're going to go all the way around Laundry side. Looks like that could potentially be the play.
Yep.
Yep, all the way around. Are they watching this, though? Well, the system aware of what's going on. Desi will find 1, but that's it. Push now going to come through from basketball. Look at this spawn. Look at the spawn in jungle. Oh, Desi just spawned right next to Monks. Oh, that's painful. The system's still in a good spot here. Zinx is going to lose that gunfight. Desi finds 1 and 2. They've been slowed down just enough. Zed with another. The lives aren't going to come into it. 20 seconds to go here. Final push has to come through, and I don't think they'll be expecting 3 players from the system in and around the stairs. Fellow finds 1. Fellow finds a second. Surely not. My God, that is disgusting. Oh my word, Fellow. The system get the round win. Questions will potentially be asked on that spawn nonetheless. And that, look at that. Oh, we even get to see the best player. Wow. I mean, that's tough.
Yeah, that is so tough. And originally, that's why I said it was going to be tough for LAG Academy, because pushing all the way around is great, but I feel like you need at least 1 player to clear out that pool house. B is so much harder when you have a Krieg up there or AR just locking that down, and Fellow was just doing just that. He was in there the whole entire time. So, I mean, now, 15-9, 3 streak, not bad for him. So the aggressive push coming in towards A. Look to work this Laundry side. So if they can cap this here, you probably will see an aggressive push through, just the same as we just saw in that fashion. But you have Mental on the aggressive flank, able to take down Zinx, and now LAG Academy. Good defense coming out of them, but once again, we have Zed who's playing around that Laundry side, and then we might catch some people, a couple off their back. And that's exactly what happened. But now it's the system. Yeah, looking like they're going to take a tick here. Yeah.
I think they've maybe given this up here, LAG. Or possibly not. Possibly not. They find kills in the middle. Exceed, how is he able to walk on through? Ziggs now can't find a kill either. So LAG, well, they don't give it up. I think once they find that opening pick, they sort of say, right, okay, well, let's try something. Mental with a good kill on the fellow, but Dessel does trade that one out. Now we're looking for the shots. Finds one, finds the second. Look at that snap. Fantastic stuff from the system. And it has to be said, LAG Academy's defense looks a lot more solid than what the systems did. Yes, okay, we are one apiece. Both teams winning their defensive side. But LAG Academy was clean as a whistle. The system, they really had to fight for it. Big push in over towards B, coming out of the system. Now, I said they have a little bit of a tick going on over towards A. They've got one player over there, so it's momentarily a 3v4 over towards B. Desi going to find two, though. The snap on the Mox. See, Narrow will clean that up, though. Whilst that has been going on, though, as mentioned, the system extending this one. They're going to lock A in now, 1 minute and 30, to try and get a hold of B.
The only problem here for the system, I mean, they're in a very good spot, too. They have to take down Mox, but Fellow does get taken down, and Zed's still alive in that money area, but the problem here for the system, the problem here for the system essentially is Mental holding that pool side and the two players that are in the pool house. Now Nero takes down Fellow on the other opposition side of the map, and Mox again still locking down and holding that kitchen side, and Desi trying to work that flank, but it's taken out. So Mox is just streaking out. He's just going. He keeps going. Clear out their base. That's essentially what you want to do, and then push forward. So they did just that. Now LAG Academy aggressively playing on that pool side. Mental holding that kitchen side, but it's going to have to worry about this front push. Yeah, he's still going.
He was staying alive because the rest of the team just fell. Now they're coming in off respawn. It just takes one good break from the system, just like this. Exceed needs to survive, finds at least one. The stack comes through, the rest of the team spawning jungle side. Desi will get rid of him as well, so they start to stack this. The system don't have a great deal of lives to play with yet. As said, one good hold can make the difference. Mental dies mid-map. Desi pushes forward. Is he going to be able to check money here for the kill? Not quite. Exceed is there. Second tick's through. Third tick is coming. Nobody here for LAG. You got to stack it if you're the system. Mox with a good kill on the Desi. They've got to push in. They've got to push in now. Mental finds one. Can Zed close this one out? Yes, they can. And that's an attack around the system. Probably didn't think they'd win. LAG Academy looked so clean the majority of the way through. But a big break is all it takes with control. The round goes over to the system. That's 2-1. And they're heading over towards the defensive side.
That was huge. And man, like you said, it just looked so strong for LAG Academy. And I mean, like you just saw right there in the kill cam, I mean, Mox was he's doing it all. He's clearing out the base. It seemed like they were in a really good position, but that's it. That's all you need is one simple break. Forces them away from the point and they spawn out, but this is huge. LAG Academy with their backs against the wall. I would assume that they're going to play this extremely aggressive. Hopefully not panicking too much as Mental's dancing around the mid-map area. But he has 3 players of the system to worry about. But now a tick and a half comes through. System's going to work that flank around, and Fellow Mox, alone on the point. But again, now the system able to clear all off of A. LAG Academy did get a couple of ticks, and I mean, this is just an all-out blood sprawled out bloodbath here, Dunny.
LAG Academy trying to keep this rolling, though. Has to be said, on the previous attack, they looked pretty good and were fortunate not to take it away. The rounds they've lost have been very, very close. I mean, realistically, could have been a 3-0 to LAG at this point. In the control specifically, at least, anyway. Tick coming in here towards B. Are they going to be able to get this up? Yes, they are. Progressive B comes through. Zed with some good shots. Those Inks will fall, but will Zed follow? Yes, he will. Good shots by Mox. Now B looking like it could get locked in here. The stack comes through. You've got to hit it very, very quickly if you're the system. They get inside. They contest. Mental very aware of where Fellow's going to be coming from. Zed, is he going to be able to clean up shop? Yes, he is. They just about keep a hold of B, but they're surely going to lose A. Desi from behind. 1-2. Can he find the third as well? Decimates. Oh my goodness me. Oh, the system just seem to clutch up when they need to, but it's only one tick on both points that they need. And look at the lives remaining. LEG are behind, but Desi finding more. He's on a 5 spree, 29 and 19. What a game out of him.
Oh my goodness, he's just running back and forth, clearing out the points. But yeah, one tick is only
Oh
needed,
my
then
God,
it gets another
Desi.
2. Desi, no,
Oh my
he got
God.
the third, and Desi is an absolute monster on an 8 streak right now. This is just falling apart for LAG Academy. They have to hurry up and push in front. But then now, have this said, huge 2-piece coming in from him. Now Desi has the streak. Oh, he gets the kill on the Mental. He gets the kill on the Nero. That's the game. The streaks are coming through the front. This is just absolute
12
domination. 12 kill streak. Desi just went huge. And ultimately, he was running back and forth. He was running back and forth, mid, left, right, lane, just clearing them off. Absolute beast.
Oh my God.
Insane stuff.
I thought I was going to sit here and start talking about how important the 2-piece head actually ended up making it be. And while it was important, Decimate went beast mode at the end there to put the system into the playoffs. Ridiculous form from them in the end. And yeah, it could have gone either way, but the 3-0 does tell the story, and all the story that needs to be told. Realistically, the system, after a gutting last game where they went into the loss, ended up actually getting the win there. Ridiculous things.
Ridiculous. And look, in fairness to LAG, you know, I was super harsh on them in the hard point, and rightfully so. But the Search and Destroy comes down to one round. The control rounds they lost, apart from that last one, were very here and there. As I was saying, it could have been 3-0 on that control to LAG, and I don't think we would have batted an eyelid there. That could have been realistic. So they're unlucky. Things just didn't work out in their favor, and well, let's see if they go again. They're gonna have to qualify again, though. That's the problem. That's the hard part, to be honest with you.
It certainly is, but we need to talk now about what is coming up. Our bracket for tomorrow. These are our last 4 teams, and they will fight off to be the champions of Challenger Elite Stage 4. Trash Bros will take on the System, who we've just seen, and Built by Gamers will take on Nemo. The winner of those two, of course, will go into our grand final. So, a lot of big games to play. Ellen, who are you favouring out of that lot?
Out of that lot, I will say, I do have a favorite. It's gotta be BBG, Built by Gamers. I mean, this is a team we've seen the whole entire time, and we need to see them win one. I'm rooting for them to win one, because, I mean, they've stuck together through and through throughout the whole year. I really, really want to see them take a chip.
Me too. Well, I suppose that brings us to the end of today's broadcast. Of course, we've had thrills and spills the entire way through, but North America has now winnowed its way down to just 14. Cream rises to the top, but just how high can these games go? Coming tomorrow, though, EU and North America, our championship regions, will go head-to-head. 4 teams, 3 games, 1 winner for this one. All that and more to come tomorrow. See you then. Good night.